got your bitch. Sitting down the goddamn corner doing dope. Sitting down the goddamn corner doing dope. Sitting down the goddamn corner doing dope. Corner doing dope. They are to be ashamed. Sitting down the goddamn corner doing dope. Sitting down the goddamn corner doing dope. Sitting down the goddamn corner doing dope. Corner doing dope. Goddamn right, bitch. Look at here. There you go. They're out here sharing marijuana. Look at here. There you go. The same old nasty ass people from last week. Corner doing dope. Corner doing dope. Corner doing dope. Corner doing dope. Goddamn corner doing dope. Corner doing dope. Corner doing dope. Goddamn right, bitch. Sitting down the goddamn corner doing dope. Sitting down the goddamn corner doing dope. Sitting down the goddamn corner doing dope. Corner doing dope. 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 Goddamn right, bitch. Goddamn right, bitch. Goddamn right, bitch. Goddamn right, bitch. Corner doing dope. 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 Sitting down the goddamn corner doing dope. Sitting down the goddamn corner doing dope. Sitting down the goddamn corner doing dope. Corner doing dope. Goddamn right, bitch. Look at here. There you go. They're out here sharing marijuana. Look at here. There you go. The same old nasty ass people from last week. Corner doing dope. Corner doing dope. Corner doing dope. Corner doing dope. Goddamn corner doing dope. Corner doing dope. Corner doing dope. Goddamn right, bitch. Sitting down the goddamn corner doing dope. Sitting down the goddamn corner doing dope. Sitting down the goddamn corner doing dope. Corner doing dope. 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 Goddamn right, bitch. Goddamn right, bitch. Goddamn right, bitch. Goddamn right, bitch. Corner doing dope. 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 Sitting down the goddamn corner doing dope. Sitting down the goddamn corner doing dope. Sitting down the goddamn corner doing dope. Corner doing dope. Goddamn right, bitch. Look at here. There you go. They're out here sharing marijuana. Look at here. There you go. The same old nasty ass people from last week. Corner doing dope. Corner doing dope. Corner doing dope. Corner doing dope. Goddamn corner doing dope. Corner doing dope. Corner doing dope. Goddamn right, bitch.
Live from the BiffNet Studios World Headquarters in Spring, Texas, it's Barry on Deck, hosted by former ESPN Houston radio host and stand-up comedian Barry Laminack, starring Oliver the Cat. Written by Barry Laminack, produced by Barry Laminack, directed by, you guessed it, Barry Laminack, featuring sports, entertainment, special guests, film sessions, and some drinking. Okay, a lot of drinking. Viewer discretion is advised. And now, here's your host, Barry Laminack.
What's up, you damn dirty dickheads? Welcome to Barry on Deck. I am your host, Barry Laminack. Thank you guys for being here. Today is Monday, April 1st, 2024. And this is episode number 769. I like of Barry on Deck. Welcome to the show. Welcome to the program. Hey, hello, hi, how are you? Happy April Fool's Day, a day that will live in infamy. I hate this day. Of all the days, I ain't gonna lie, it's a stupid ass day. As a comic, as a comedian, I guess I'm supposed to be all key. I love a good joke. Tee. I don't know why I hate April Fool's Day so much. I just do. I just think it's stupid. I do. I think it's stupid and silly. And it's like, and I fell for something this morning. I was so goddamn mad. Because I usually don't fall for April Fool's Day jokes and pranks and all that dumb shit. I don't. I am never that guy. Ever. I woke up this morning and I'm, doing my normal doom scrolling bullshit. And I see this one dude that I know, he's out of Dallas or whatever, and he was like, we're opening a comedy club. And I was like, yo, congrats, pimp. And as soon as I sent it, I was like, you know what? This is April Fool's. That's all this is. And I literally, as soon as I said congrats, I was like, son of a bitch. I know what this is, and this ain't that. I know what this is, and this ain't that. This is that bullshit. That's what this is. This is that bullshit. This ain't that. I was kind of angry, and made me mad. It made me mad because I fell for it, and I hate falling for it. If I'm being honest, I absolutely hate falling for it. And I usually don't. I'm usually really, really good about it. So, yeah. Amos said, turn your mic up a little bit. No, don't give a fuck. Not falling for that either. It's probably April Fool's. So, yeah, I don't give a shit. Yeah, well, I'm not turning my mic up, so suck it, nerds. Wait, what is wrong with this? Why does that look like that? Hold on, let me see something. What is...
I got you.
Hey, no, what the fuck? What the fuck was that? Why does that look like that? What happened there? Well, that looks stupid now. Oh my God. What a travesty that is. Okay, well, the headline slide is screwed up. Anyways, yeah. So, super dumb headline, super dumb day. I don't know. Yeah, I don't know. It's one of those things. I just don't. I don't know. I don't. It is a dumb day, Tony. I do agree with that. It's a dumb day, and I think I'm going through menopause. I'm not gonna lie. And there's that. God damn it. It's a day. It's a day. It's a Stick around. We have all kinds of goodness going on. We are live on YouTube. We are live on Twitch. What's up to everybody watching on the Twitches? What's up to everybody watching on the Tube? We got 2 whole ass people watching on YouTube. Jeff Bell's over there. Keith Sager's over there. Rudy Rod's over there. Actually, we got more than that. AJB's over there. What's up, Aaron J. Bryant? And then Fuso Perso is over there. I don't know if I've said that right. That doesn't sound right. Fuso Perso. See, because there's like, you never know where the break is in these, right? Like, there's no spaces, so I might have said that wrong. Nonetheless, yeah, we've got, now there's 1 concurrent viewer watching. So there's that. But yeah, welcome everybody. Amos said, I'm not joking. You're low and your music and effects are maximum. Spoon said he's pregnant. Well, that's great. That's just what I needed on a day like today. Spoon's pregnant, and I don't know what to do. I don't know why my microphone would be low. How about that? How about that? Yeah? Yay! Fuck, I don't know. I don't know why the mic is low. I really don't. I don't know anything anymore. I don't give a fuck. Jesus Christ. Everything changes fucking every show. Hey, how about I just be angry for 3 hours? That's a fun show. That's a goddamn hoot of a show. All right, so we got a busy show today. I changed up some things on the slides, so those are going to look a little bit different. Not that you give a fuck either way. I am changing up the show. Just FYI, the show is going to be changing. And no, this is not an April Fool's. Hey, Elmore Astros fan, thank you for the 100 bits, buddy. Heartthrob, thank you for the 20 bits. Appreciate you. Alan Denson, thank you for the 26 months subscribe, my friend. Very much appreciated as well on that. Thank you, sir. Hey, also shout out to David Murphy 1261 for the follow, friend. Thanks for being here, man. Much appreciated. I usually in a better mood normally. You just are on a weird day. That's all. It's normally more fun than this. Just a weird, wacky day where shit is not going well. You know how it goes, don't you? Maybe not. Maybe you don't know. I don't know. Maybe you do know. I don't know. Who knows? Do you know? I don't know. Anyways, looks like the chat's frozen over here. Spoon, thank you for giving a sub out to somebody. I don't know who was that to go. So that went to Lone Star Forever. Cool. Ian said, why is Astros lost 3 games in a row? Because they suck at home, Spoon. Because they suck at home, okay? They suck at home. That's why. They're just a terrible home team. They haven't shaken that yet. All right, that's why. So, that's why. Hey, real quick, I do want to say sorry to everybody that was at the big shindig blowout on Friday. The Deckheads got together here in Houston and hung out. Heartthrob came down. There was a big get together for Fred Fowler and Heartthrob being in town. And I did not go down and partake. And it was a couple of different reasons. One, most of the time when I get a chance to spend time with Nora when I'm off on the weekends, I try to do that as much as possible. And I try not to, oh my God, what is happening right now? I don't know. Oh, wow. The whole thing is just about to die. Well, folks, listen, if the if the show goes off the air, just know that the computer crashed. Everything is just freezing currently. And I'm not sure why. Okay. Yeah, so anyways, when I do get a chance to spend time, hey, what's up, Cisco? When I do get a chance to spend time with Nora, I try to take advantage of that. The second thing is, things haven't been great. You know what I'm saying? So it was just not the timing wasn't great for me to get down and hang out. And so it wasn't an ideal time for me to get in there and hang out. But I'm glad you guys had a good time. It looks like you guys had a good time. I told Donna to send my best to you guys. And I was there in spirit. I was definitely there in spirit. So I hope you guys had a great time with that. And yes, there will be some changes. What does it say? Me and the kid did get arrested at the hotel a few hours after the meetup. Oh, and that's not an April Fool's joke. You got arrested for real? What the hell did you get arrested for, Heartthrob? Are you sure that's not an April Fool's joke? Which is, what was that? 6 days ago. Oh, that's just scrolling shit. All right, so listen, a couple things. Let's get rolling. I gotta get my mojo back. This shit is, it's getting wacky weird here. Couple things. One, we got two guests today. Jenny's mom's gonna join me at 3:15. Okay, gonna do that. And then my buddy Slade Ham is gonna join me at 4 o'clock. I'm pretty sure he is supposed to join me at 4 o'clock. I'm gonna have to turn my notifications on my phone in case he emails me. I'm expecting him to. He's got a special dropping tomorrow, and yeah, I wanted to have him on. We'll have a clip of his new special that's gonna drop, and then we'll just do we're gonna have an hour with hanging out with Slade, and then tomorrow I'm gonna be joined by another guest. Jeff Canada is going to join me on the show. He's a musician here in Houston. He's going to hang out with us for about an hour, and we're going to talk music and performing and all of those fun things. So that kind of leads me into some things that I wanted to talk to you guys about in regards to the show. What is this? No, you're right. That was Thursday night. My bad. What? Donna said. Heartthrob, was that after the Thursday night handcuffing? Oh. Mark said, I know Jeff. Good dude. Yeah. Jeff Canada, good dude. His dad used to live across the street from me. They just moved not too long ago. Thank you, Ian. Yes, that is correct. Ian, as usual, Ian is on top of it, guys. Breaking news. Breaking news, everybody. According to Ian, I don't know, I haven't verified this yet, but Ian does have sources. But according to Ian, it is April 1st. I haven't validated that yet. I haven't verified. I don't know who his sources are. I can't validate that. We're just going to have to trust him on this one. A lot of times I don't believe him until I, see somebody else tweet it out or especially a reputable source. And I don't trust blue check marks on Twitter or X. But my gut instinct says maybe Ian is right this time. I'm going to go with it. But yeah, you heard it here first, folks. It's April 1st, according to Ian. Wow. Stunning news. Stunning revelation. Holy shit. I don't know. I may have to take a break and gather myself. Wow. I meant to get my shit together. I wasn't expecting that. It's April 1st. What's up, Evil Death? Yeah, last weekend for Houston sports sucked. Rockets lost last night. Cougars choked. Astros got swept. Even the Roughnecks lost. Yeah. Major suckage, right? We're going to get to it. But let's talk about the show for a second. I'm going to give you some updates. I don't know if you guys give a shit. Maybe you do. Maybe you don't. I don't know. But it's the reason why I took 3 days off last week. I was supposed to do a show on Wednesday. Quite frankly, hey, what's up, UT Broward? He said Dynamo won. So not all of Houston's sports sucked. True. Look at Tony. Dash and the Dynamo both won. Yeah, but here's the thing. That tells you, look, this is literally, Linda, listen, Linda, this is literally this is a microcosm of Houston sports right here. Evil Death comes in and he brings up Houston sports sucks. Rockets, Cougs, Astros, and he brings up a random football team like the Roughnecks. And then you'll get somebody that comes in and brings up the Dynamo and the Dash. Like, hey, but what about Dynamo Dash? And UT Brown's like, yeah, Dynamo. And Evil Death represents the other 99% of the city. And he's like, yeah, we don't give a shit. This is what we care about. The mains. Not them others. That is a microcosm of Houston sports. Barry, I tagged you on something on Twitter that I think would make a great segment for the show. Thank you, Clarence. I will take a look at that. So let's talk about the show. I've just mentioned Jenny is Mom at 3:15. Slade Ham at 4 o'clock. I'm hoping he sends me what he's supposed to send me. If he doesn't, I hope he joins no matter what. Oh, my God. Bro. Oh, God. The spam is ridiculous. Ridiculous! So, I was supposed to do a show on Wednesday and Thursday. And I just did not do a show. Trey was supposed to come over. We were just going to hang out. And it was good because I really wasn't in a mood. I guess I'll just go ahead and tell you guys. I mean, you're going to find out, I guess, eventually. Hey, what's up, Jared Taylor? Jared said, Barry, you seen the new sparkling ice from H-E-B Starburst flavors? What? You had them yet? No. I have not. I got to try that. Yeah, I got to try that for sure. Yeah, I got to try that. Trevor Pookie said the Sabercats won. Yeah, again. It's cool and all, and I get it. It's fun to go to those Sabercats and stuff, but you know, when you're taking the pulse and the temperature of Houston sports, you're certainly not putting a rectal thermometer up the butthole of a Sabercat in this town to judge that. You know what I mean? Like, that's just not it. So, I don't even know what the sparkling ice is. What is the sparkling ice? Thank you, UT Broward. I love it. UT Broward's like, hey. Focus, Barry. Focus. So you were supposed to do a show on Wednesday and Thursday. Yes, I was supposed to do. Oh, look at that. Dude, it's so bad. Okay. Oh, that's the sparkling ice. Oh, so those are kind of like those other waters I drink from H-E-B. Gotcha. Okay. You got your pulse taken through your butthole. Good point. I was thinking fever, and that's not accurate. Focus, Aaron. We're not here to talk about my butthole, okay? Not here to talk about my butthole. So, yes, I was looking forward to Trey coming over on Wednesday to do the show with me, sit on the back patio, do some drinking, smoke some cigars, and just bullshit and talk. And then, whatever. I was doing his show. When was it? Was it Wednesday night that I was doing his show or Thursday? I forget. When did I do his show? I was doing his show on Thursday. So he was going to come over Wednesday. And then we were doing his show Thursday. Nonetheless, Trey couldn't make it. And honestly, I just was not. I was in the mood to kind of hang out with Trey and bullshit and talk, but I wasn't in the mood to do the show. So a couple reasons why. The show is just really, I felt like the momentum of the show and the growth, and we've talked about it a little bit, but everything just has seemed to be backsliding. And in fact, Facebook has even gone so far as to say, hey, your Facebook page for your podcast is so bad that we're going to stop recommending it to people. That's how little, that's how bad your page is. So it was like, oh my God, this is how like little activity and how I just like, oh Jesus Christ, this is how bad it is. Because like I'll post a video and it'll get like 7 views on Facebook. It's just it's so bad, right? And it just seems like that's kind of been the case in a lot of different ways. So that was kind of part of it, right? Everything has just not been going great. Growth has been stagnant at best. If it's kind of been going in the opposite direction. But then on top of that, and this is the kind of the shitty news, found out on Wednesday of last week that they have pulled the plug on the TV show. So I don't think we're doing another one. Like, I don't even think this week would be the last one. I think they've pulled the plug. So the reason is we had there was like an interim GM at the station, and he loved the show. He loved us. He was all in. He believed in it. He loved it. And that's why we went from doing, Football Saturday for the entire college football season. And then he was like, yeah, let's keep rolling. Let's do, now that football season's over, let's do Sports Saturday. And so that's why we went from doing Football Saturday on Saturdays to Sports Saturday. And he moved us to being right after the news. So he gave us an absolutely fantastic time slot right after the news. And there was talks of syndication and putting it on all the CW stations around the state and yada, yada, yada. Well, apparently, in talking with Jerome, that, there's a new, I guess that temporary GM or whatever, a permanent GM is taken over. And I don't know I shouldn't say, I assume that it wasn't like he came in and went like, that show sucks. I hate that show. Get it out of here. The way it was explained to me was really more of a, hey, I want to redo the lineup Saturday or whatever. And we just didn't fit what he was trying to do. So our show was canned. So, yeah, so that sucked. And I don't know what that means for the radio show at this point, because the radio show was kind of a supplemental thing for the TV show, from an advertising and sales perspective, because it made it more enticing for people who were like, well, yeah, we could advertise on TV and it kind of would sweeten the pot. So I have no idea if that even means that Game On is going to be a thing on ESPN Radio going forward. So I have no idea what any of that means. Now, it does mean this show continues. I'm not going to stop doing this show, but it is a bummer. And, of course, it certainly sucks. It certainly sucks that there's no more TV show. And there's no more, probably no more radio show, at least for the time being. But I'm still, still got this and still have my stand up. But I was telling Jen and Donna, that's the two, because I told Donna, I was like, hey, I'm not going to make it. Just not feeling like getting out, not feeling it. But it just, it's frustrating. But that's this business too. That's the business that I've chosen to be in, and it's a tough business, man. It's but the last couple of years, it's felt like one step forward, one step back. You know what I mean? It's just been like, just can't seem to get any real momentum and kind of keep moving forward. So we just continue to pivot and keep trying and hope something sticks long term and we can get an upward trajectory and maintain that upward trajectory. So, yeah, that's the goal. So, hey, let's see. Yeah, Spoon, thank you for that gifted sub, homie. I don't know why the vMix social things keeps freezing. I really don't know why it's doing that. But it does. I don't know what's going on over there with that thing. Oh, there we go. Hey, what's up, Bryce? Good to see you, pimp. Holy shit. Hadn't seen Bryce in forever. Damn, what's up, Bryce? Long time no see, man. Dang, what's up, dog? So yeah, that's the latest update on that. Just when it felt like, things were really getting rolling. Things were really starting to, it was really cool. I felt like we were making some progress, on that TV show. So such is life. Such is life. So what I'm doing now, just FYI, I am making some changes to this show. So that's the next thing we need to talk about a little bit. And then we're going to get into this show because we need to move on. Enough meowing from me and shit. Hold on. Let me look over here. I don't think I follow you on Facebook. Well, it would be the show stuff I'm talking about, not my personal Facebook. Amos says your base isn't Facebook, it's Twitch and YouTube. Why are you using that as a gauge? Well, that's a good question, Amos, but you got to understand there's no growth on Twitch or YouTube. And this is funny, and I'm not going to get down in the weeds in it, but essentially, man, you don't grow by doing the shows, right? Like, yeah, we'll get a follower here and there, but real growth occurs through social media by promoting the show and promoting your social media pages and then converting those followers into viewers. That's really the formula, and I haven't done a good job of it, but that's supposedly the formula to follow. So that's what I'm hopefully is going to happen when I get this social media person involved, but we're really going to focus on comedy at first. So that's the reason why those are important. Facebook and to a lesser extent Twitter, but I mean Twitter's not really a good gauge, but Facebook, Instagram, and TikTok is where you gotta get build up followers and shit like that. So yeah, I was like, what the fuck is that? It's my ring notice. What the hell is this? What the hell is this? It's probably some dog, some bullshit. Even though I said it's a dog eat dog world. Yep. What up, Alec? Alex said, hope you had a great weekend, man. You too. Mark G said, apparently Paul Gallant got confused and showed up nearby in a full-blown suit, thought it was a fancy memorial, and was too proud to go into the Blue Lagoon in a suit. Oh, that's hilarious. Hanshu said, AOL chat's making a comeback. That's how I got famous. Nope. Clarence said, open the door. It's hot out here. I don't even know what that means. Okay, you guys are just being weird in the chat. Is it raining now? Is it really? Oh, there's a... What is that? Oh, there's a fucking cat just hanging out. Running around outside. Okay. Just acting crazy on the porch. All right. So, Aldous asked me anything about anything. I don't know why it's not popping up over here, guys. I apologize. My normal vMix thing ain't working. So, I'll just have to use this chat instead. I won't be able to put it on screen, apparently. Aldous said, ask me anything about anything. Are you looking into comedy shows over in Lake Charles? Bro, I'm looking into comedy shows anywhere that'll book me, but that's also part of the problem. Everything is going backwards, including comedy. Like, even the clubs I worked have stopped booking me. So it's a really long story. Like, and it's not something I want to bore you guys with and, cry into this microphone about. Remember I told you somebody said they stopped, or I saw, who was it? I think it was Virginia Buttonweed that was over on the ESPN chat talking about how all I do is cry on the show. So I don't want to do that anymore. I don't want to come on the show and be an open book and do that. Even though some of you guys have said, hey man, when you go and talk about your problems and all that, it's it's been really helpful. But I understand too. It turns off some people and they're like, well, I don't want to. So it's a tricky thing. Some people benefit from it. Some people don't. I don't know. I don't know what the balance is. You know what I mean? But I certainly don't want to sit here and just bitch about problems that I have the whole time. That's not why you're tuning in. You're tuning in to be entertained. So, you should save that for your future autobiography. No idea what that means. No idea what that means. So let's talk about changes to the show real quick. I've thought about this show and what I could do a little bit different and what I need to do to kind of get back to some things that we did in the past, some things that I have considered, and I'm not 100% sold on any of this yet, but these are the things over the last 4 or 5 days that I've thought about. A couple things. One, I definitely want to start booking more guests and doing more interviews. And so expect a lot more of those in the future. It is difficult to do and book guests. It is a very time consuming thing, but I do plan on trying to get that done a lot more. And it is more fun for me, and it does make my job a lot easier to have guests on the show, but it is harder to get them booked as far as coordinating time and schedules and everything else. But that's part of the plan. I want to start booking some really interesting guests that I can have on, and hopefully that'll be more entertaining for you guys. Also considering going back to a 2-hour show from a 3-hour show. Just because I feel like sometimes 3 hours is just like, what's the point? What are we doing here? I feel like a lot of people check out in the 3rd hour anyways. And it's, especially after about 4:30, there's no interest in the show. So I haven't decided on that yet, but that is also a consideration. I'm considering changing, the length of the show back to 2 hours. And I'm also considering changing the start time, of the show. I don't know if we're going to continue to start at 2:00. We may start, we may stay at 2 to 4. I don't know. We may go 3 to 5. I don't know. We may, I don't know. We may start at noon and go to 2. I'm not sure yet, but these are all things that I'm considering. And maybe going to 3 days a week. I don't know. These are all things that are up in the air for sure. So just keep in mind, and if you got feedback, if you think of ideas or things that you think could improve the show or make it more fun or exciting or more interesting and make people want to stick around for longer times, then throw that out there. Chris Reyes said 5 days a week again. No, it's definitely, I'm not going to be adding, I'm definitely not going to be adding work or days or hours to the show. Hey, what's up, Chewy? Good to see you, buddy. Definitely not going to be doing that, Reyes. If things are going backwards and shrinking and backsliding, why would I be adding days and whatnot? Yeah, that's true. That's not a bad point. Well, I said after 2 hours, you should just stop whenever you feel like you've reached a good stopping point. Having a hard out is pointless. Yeah. That's a good point. I try to treat it more like a show. You know what I mean? Like, I feel like having a set time like a show. I try to treat it like a show instead of a podcast, because podcasts are more of just we just end when we end. And I've always tried to treat this like a show, whether it's a radio show, TV show, or a hybrid or whatever. I've always tried to have that kind of structure so that everybody knows, well, it's from here to here. You know what I mean? I don't know why. I guess that's just the radio guy in me. Hey, what's up, Kyle? Kyle said, happy Easter. He is risen. God bless. Jesus Christ is King and saves and is the way. Okay. I'll allow it. Sure. All right. I mean, I don't know if, okay. If That helps you. Yeah, that's fine. It's not Easter, but okay. Amos said it's hard to grow the shows that aren't controversial and negative or red pill conspiracy theory shows. That's a really good point. Yeah. It's hard. It is. It's hard to grow shows that aren't controversial. It is. It really is. It's hard to grow shows that you don't already have, like, you know what I mean? Like, if you're not controversial, if you're not, if you don't already have somebody like famous or, you know what I mean? Like when you guys were telling me about the $1 million whatever club or whatever the hell that thing was, you were like, oh yeah, this is a rapper. And that's a lot easier than just some schmo, just some local schmuck. You know what I mean? And think about it though. Think about this. Barry on Deck, like the numbers I do, I'm super lucky, right? I am so blessed. As much as I sit here and cry and meow meow about it, there are shows and there are people and there are streamers who would just kill to get the numbers that I get and do the numbers that I do. And they've been trying for years to do that and aren't able to. And I'm lucky to have that, even though they're going backwards. I'm still lucky to have the numbers that I get. And that is a product of coming from radio. Had I just started this show and nobody knew who I was, I'd still be getting, 5, 7, maybe 10 viewers at a time. Like a lot of new streamers that don't have an audience and don't have any fame or notoriety. And so, yeah, when you start to magnify that on a different scale, it is difficult. It's very difficult. And that takes us back to answering the question to, was it Amos that said, why do you care about Facebook? That's why. Because with Facebook and Instagram and TikTok, you can cut up clips of crazy things that you do or funny things or interesting things, or if you interview somebody or something crazy happens or somebody says something and you can catch lightning in a bottle. You can put that out and, whether it's on Facebook and you're running an ad or you're buying, clicks or whatever, you can, you can push that and hopefully build that following that way. And, so that's what I got to focus on. That's what I'm going to try to build and do a better job of. I've been just trying to do this organically and it's just not going to work. So, I'm working with a social media person, social media lady, and she's really going to help me focus on my stand-up side. And I'm going to kind of use what I'm learning from her as I go, and I'm going to be trying to piecemeal some shit together for Barry on Deck while she's helping me with the comedy side of things. So, in fact, what I'm working with her right now on is she told me, all right, phase one of our deal is I need you to get 180 pieces of content together. She goes, we're not even going to begin until you have 180 videos ready. Because the very first thing is consistency. You can't just post for a week or 2 weeks and then go, well, nobody watched, I quit. And that's the same thing I tell people about doing podcasts and shows. If you're not going to be in it for the long haul, don't even do it. I mean, why start, right? And that's what she's telling me. And God knows if you go back and look, I think the longest, the most consistent I've ever done this was for like a month. And I did notice growth. I did see like, oh, okay, things started to move a little bit. And then for whatever reason, whether it be traveling or getting busy or life or lazy or whatever, just petered out. And then so did the growth. So with her, she was like, nope, I want 180 things that I can schedule. And we're going to schedule out 180 days worth of content. I was like, damn. She goes, yep. And she goes, and we're going to get that scheduled. And then we're going to start monitoring 30 days at a time. And we're going to, we'll pivot. I was like, is it all organic? Are we going to buy ads? She's like, yeah, we're going to do both. We'll have a whole strategy. She's like, but you don't build the strategy first. Like, you don't do that. We got to start from the beginning. So I was like, okay. She goes, but we're not going to do anything until you have 180 pieces of content and most of it's video. I was like, shit. So all I've been doing is trying to make a list of 180 different jokes or bits or whatever I can get for comedy. And I was like, well, how far back could I go and like use old shit? Can I recycle old jokes? She's like, yeah, anything older than a year you could use. I was like, fuck yeah. So I'm going to go back and use some old shit. But in the meantime, so now my brain is like, okay, well now I can go. Now I need to start making a list of 180 different Barry on Deck pieces of content that I can create. 180 different things that occurred on Barry on Deck that I can use. So now I've got to go back and find 180 different things that occurred on this show that I could use and clip to put out to the world that represent Barry on Deck. Now, in this case, though, like what she's doing is just really like straight video. But for this, what I really want to do is I'd rather be posting at least twice a day. And really more like what I want to do is post like a video a day, but I also want to post like a picture or a carousel a day also, and a story. So I really want to post like a picture in the morning and a video in the afternoon, or a video in the morning and a picture in the afternoon, or whatever. But yeah, I would like to post like maybe a snippet from a video one day, or, you know, like the time that Oliver knocked my shit over, or Spencer knocked my shit over, or maybe I don't know, I don't know, whatever. So I'm going to start going through and getting videos and shit out. So yeah, that's the goal. That's what I'm working on. So look for my goal, and honest to God, and this is just me like, fuck it, do or die, shit or get off the pot, is I want to have this all ready to go May 1. So I've committed to myself that I've got to get my list done by April 15th, by tax day. And then I've given myself 2 weeks to make all the videos. I don't know if that's going to be possible, but that's what I've told myself. So we'll see. We shall see if I can pull that off. I'm looking in the chat. And again, guys, I'm sorry I can't put them on the screen. Clarence said for my 40th birthday, Donna can book you for a roast of Clarence for only 10 minutes. Oh, God, that would be so funny if that ended up like the roast on The Office. Remember when Michael Scott was like, yeah, everybody roast me. And then everybody roasted him and got his feelings hurt. That would be Clarence. He'd be like, let's roast. Y'all can roast me. And then we'd roast Clarence and he'd be like, you guys are mean. Everybody wants to be roasted until you roast them. And then they're like, why the fuck did you say that about me? You guys said that my breath stinks and I smell like every fat person ever. Like, what? It's like, yeah, well, it's a roast. Anything goes. Yeah, but I didn't think you would go that far. It's a roast. Anything goes. I know, but I didn't think you would actually go there. Well, you wanted a roast. Cisco said I've been emotional and crying all weekend. I mean, I'm close. Believe it or not, I haven't cried yet. I think I'm just kind of too like, but I love you, buddy. And sometimes, dude, the best thing you can do is just let that out, man. Get it out. Yeah. And you know what? I think the saving grace for me is, this is no shit, is I think the saving grace really is I told you guys I'm on those diet pills. Like, part of the concoction of different pills that they give me, some of them are antidepressants. So, like, I know I'm kind of like fucked up, but I think those pills are propping me up enough where it hasn't let me, like, not get out of bed and just stay. Like, I'm moving forward, but I'm just like, the world sucks. Everything sucks and I hate it. But I'm still moving forward, barely. And I think that's thanks to the pills. Yeah, he was talking about it around 1:30 today. Who? Oh, Paul Gallant. Shouldn't let people at 97.5 who aren't regulars listen to Affect You, Barry. That's true, Jet. That's very true. Hans, you said if you want me to come on the show, you just have to ask. Oh, thanks so much. Donna said that's a great idea. Which one, Donna? Which one? What am I missing here? Dude, Mark, that used to be a shirt. I want to say it was on Busted Tees. Jesus saves, passes for to Gretzky, Gretzky scores. There was also one like Jesus saves with 2-for-1 coupons or something like that. Reyes always brings this up. We lost so many when he got politics. Okay, Reyes, you bring this up all the time. That's not the only reason that we lost so many people. We lost a ton of people when they had to go back to the office after COVID. We lost a lot of people when we switched from YouTube to Twitch. We lost some people, yes, when we got into politics, but it really wasn't getting into politics. It was the whole George Floyd thing. And forgive me for standing up on principles that I believe in. That's fucking... I'm not even going to get into that with you, Reyes. I'm not even going to get into that with you. But you act like, Reyes, that I get on this show and bash Trump or prop up Biden or bash Biden and prop up Trump and go for hours about debates in the House and the Senate and those things. That's not what that was. And that's not what that show was. It's not what that was at all. I know what you're referencing. That show in those times, it was very much about George Floyd and race. You can call that politics all you want, but that's not politics. That's something that I've been passionate about since I was fucking 12 years old, buddy. That's a lifestyle for me. That is not politics, buddy. Not politics. And anybody that stopped listening to this show because I call out people for being racist pieces of shit, I don't want them listening to this show. Goodbye. I don't give a fuck. Goodbye. I don't want them to be a part of this show. I don't want racist people listening to this fucking show, Reyes. I promise you that. So don't lump that in with politics, because that ain't it. Has nothing to do with it. Nothing. And yes, that is specifically where we lost a ton of people, was after the George Floyd show with Billy D. We lost a lot of people. A lot. And I don't give a fuck, and I don't regret it. So stop bringing that up, because that's not what it was. It wasn't politics. It was people that couldn't hear the echo chamber of their white fragility. Let's just call it what it was, Reyes. Cisco said, Barry on deck live from Diddy Island. Oh, fuck no, you're not getting my butthole. Which sacrificed Total Dallas. Y'all leave Total Dallas alone. Total Dallas is going to love a topic I have for today. Oh my God, I can't even believe I made this, but I kind of did it for him for as much abuse as he takes. Total Dallas, get ready, buddy. It's going to be your time to shine in a minute, fam. Oh my God, you're going to love it. Just get ready. Get ready. I've noticed you post on social media more often. I'm trying, Reyes. That's the point is, I mean, honestly, here you go. I'll tell you. This is the last thing I'm going to bring it up, because this is why I've started to be more active. But basically all the clubs that I used to work and headline don't book me no more. And the reason they don't book me no more is because I don't have good social media numbers. I don't sell tickets. I'm not a draw in that sense. I'm funny. I'm funny as a headliner, but I just don't have 100,000 followers on any of my social media accounts. So when I go to a city, people aren't lining up at the box office to buy tickets because they don't know who I am. And so I've had clubs say, dude, I love you. You're hilarious. But people don't use free tickets to comedy shows as much anymore. So the old system of I bring you in, and if people don't buy tickets, I just give them away and they show up and everybody's happy. That's not working. So I got to book people that can sell tickets. And I'm like, I get it. I get it. That is where we're at. So that's why I'm like, fuck, if I want to have a career in comedy and a career doing this, I got to get my numbers up. And so that's why I was like, well, I guess I got to get a social media person and just make this all work and figure it out. Otherwise, I got to shut all this shit down and just go back to corporate world until I retire. So what choice do I have? Either that or I could just be, I know. I could be like Barry the cable guy. I could come up with like a character. I don't know. I feel like that might be stealing. I think you lost about 30 or 40 hate watchers over the years. Oh, you mean people that just watched because they hated me? That's probably true. They just wanted to see me fail. I could see that. Yeah. I could see that. That's probably true. I've noticed you post on social more. I can't even count to 180. That's a lot. Yes. Spoon said recycle. Cisco said I can help with you if you like. Dude, I would love that. Off topic, UT Broward. For the pro wrestling fans, Punk spent his time on the MMA hour today. Absolutely torching AEW. Joe Osteen joke is a definite. Oh, for sure. That's 100% going to be on there. Guess whatever India he had. Yeah. I would love, dude. I'd love to hear his whole spiel on why he thought he could go into MMA in the first place. Why CM Punk ever thought he would make a viable real fighter? I don't know what his background was, but the fact that he thought he could actually go in and mix it up, it's like, you know what that reminds me of? Like, I understand like why Brock Lesnar and a few other guys really felt like that they could go and, and dip a toe into the MMA water. They have a legitimate wrestling background, not a professional entertainment wrestling background. They come from D1 college wrestling, right? So they know how to wrestle. And that's where they, and that's a base in MMA, a skill. So I don't know if maybe that was his skill or background, but it just made no sense to me. He was a fish out of water in MMA. That dude was awful. What up, Spoon? Says a lot of work, but you can do it. Sure, I hope so. Totally handsome. You can do it. Yes, please keep me accountable, Reyes. Yes, please. I'm actually another comic and I are going to be our accountability buddies, study buddies, or thunder buddies. Tony said I'd roast Clarence, but he'll see me and beat me up. Probably. I want to roast Total Arlington. Yes. Well, shout out to Modern Medicine. Yes. I love Total Dallas. Feel good, feel bad, just feeling something. I love Reyes. Okay. Going for Caitlin Clark and Iowa to beat LSU. Yeah, we're going to get to that game. We're definitely going to get to that game. I hate Caitlin and Mulkey. All right, let's get to it. Francis Ngannou in boxing was awful. Probably training as a hobby, and someone told him he could make it. Yeah, that's probably it, too. All right, let's get to some headlines real quick, and then Jenny, his mom's going to join me at 3:15, and that's when we'll talk about her sad-ass little Cougars. But let's get to some sports headlines before she joins us real quick, and then we'll go from there. Clarence said I'd love to see an MMA fight between Michael Jai White and Francis Ngannou. Oh, that would be interesting. That would be real interesting. Yankees swept the Astros, folks. I don't know if you heard, but your Astros absolutely suck. I don't know what the deal is with them, folks. I don't really understand it. I don't get it. I don't know what their problem is at home, but somebody has put a hex or a curse or some voodoo or something on Minute Maid Park. You know what it is? I guarantee you it's that stupid ass dude in the train. That I really believe it's that fat ass dude in the train driving them pumpkins back and forth. I promise you that's what it is. He's probably gone out here and he's probably taken some Cuban mistress and she's into voodoo, and she has put a hex on him, and he probably shows up to Minute Maid with a boiled egg in his pocket, and he doesn't know, and he's got some bad juju up on that goddamn train, and he's not even aware of it, and he's just riding back and forth thinking that everything's okay, and it's not. And it's not. And this is what I think needs to happen, everybody. This is what I think needs to happen. Now, hear me out. You're going to think this is ridiculous, all right? Now, you remember a while back when the Texans sucked, and I suggested we had to sage the city, right? Because the Texans were so awful as a franchise that what I wanted to do was, ever since the Sage Rosenfeld, the Rosencopter, remember when Rosenfeld went up in the air and spun around like a helicopter and landed, and ever since that moment, that franchise was just in disarray. And that was really since then. So we needed to sage the city, sage the franchise, sage the stadium. And so I wanted to get Sage Rosenfeld's, get some sage, go down to Sage Street and start there, march to the stadium and sage the stadium, right? Here's what I think we need to do. I really believe that there is a voodoo curse on the train engineer, the train captain, the train conductor. I really believe that. So what I propose is, I think keeping the roof closed, which is closed 99.9% of the time. I say if you go back and look, with the roof open, they're probably have a winning record. So here's what I suggest. I think they play with the roof open, and then we hire a band of ninjas. Now look, don't check out on me yet. This is very possible. We hire some ninjas to stealthily sneak up to the train before the 7th inning, or, and just throw the conductor out of the train, out of the stadium with the roof open. It has to be done during the game. You cannot break the curse. Like, you can't just take the dude out, you know what I mean, or just fire him. You can't just be like, hey, you're no longer employed with the Astros or Union Pacific, or I don't know who employs him to run that train. A pumpkin patch, Minute Maid themselves. I don't know. Maybe it's Kelly Services. Maybe he's a temp. I don't know who runs that train. But I think you have to sometimes you just got to rip the Band-Aid off. And maybe it's not ninjas. I don't know. Maybe you can't find ninjas past March in Houston. Maybe it's a seasonal thing. So maybe you just get some folks and we just storm the train tracks. Just go all Jan 6 on them. And just throw them over. Roof open. It's for the good of the team. Captain Jack. What's the dude's name? Sorry about this. Pumpkin Pat. I don't know his name. What is it? Plumpkin Phil. I don't know his name. What is the fat dude's name that runs the train? I don't know. But somebody has to be sacrificed so that the Astros can start winning at home again. I am convinced of this, just like I was convinced that we had to get Sage Rosenfeld to march down Sage Street with Sage to sage the stadium to save the Texans franchise. It just needed to happen. So I'm convinced of this. So we'll see. Speaking of curses. Damn. Boy, oh boy. UH gets bounced. Sweet 16 again. Jamal Shed leaves the first half after really not even contributing offensively. Didn't have a great first half, but they were still in the game. Let me pull up the box score. Why am I not finding it? Interesting. I am not seeing. Oh man, I can't find the damn box score. I'm trying to find how many points he had. Men scores. What is today? Oh, that's why. I need to go back in time. That was on Friday. Yay. Jamal Shead had 2 points when he went out of the game. Played 13 minutes, 1 for 5 from the field. He had a rebound and 3 assists, 2 steals, and a turnover. And this was the Cougs team coming off of a difficult win against A&M, in which they really got lucky, went to overtime. Several starters fouled out. And I said as much to Jenny's mom, and I also said as much to the guys in Wichita. I do a weekly hit on the press box on, I don't know what the call letters are of the station. Spoon probably knows in the chat. But I do a weekly hit on this radio show in Wichita. And I told him as much. I said, look, man, that was not a good sign. But I think if these guys can kind of play, you don't want to take away their aggressiveness, but if they can kind of play in control and, maybe if the refs, maybe they were just a little aggressive with the whistle, but I don't think the Cougs can fade that again. Not against Duke and not going forward. This is about where that field of 32 is about where that ends. But they also couldn't fade losing their best player in the Sweet 16 in the first half. But here's the thing, folks. Okay? I put a poll on the Barry on Deck Facebook page. And if you haven't yet, you can go to it. It is right here. There's the Barry on Deck Facebook page. Yeah, it's KGSO. That's what it is. 93.9 KGSO. You can hear me every week, every Wednesday at 5:25. KGSO. Even though I said Cougars were leading 16-10 before Shead went out. Yep. But there's the Facebook page. Go help your boy out. I have 430 followers. Sad. I put a poll up essentially, and it said if Jamal Shead doesn't get hurt, is UH in the Final Four? And the way that you could vote, since you can't do polls on the Facebook page, and this is really just because Facebook was like, your page sucks so bad, we're going to stop recommending it to people, and this was just a way for engagement, was like if you think, yes, they would be in the Final Four if they didn't lose Jamal Shead, and put a laughy face, haha emoji, if you think no, they still wouldn't be in the Final Four if they had Shead. So that's the question. If Jamal Shead doesn't get hurt, is U of H in the Final Four? Go, and I do want your answers in the chat, but just do your boy a solid. Click on that link, and also click follow while you're there at the Facebook page for me. And turn on notifications and interact with the page so Facebook will stop being an asshole. I tend to say yes, but here's the thing. I want you to think about this, and then I'm going to bring Jenny's mom in and listen to her lament about her beloved Cougs. But you can't really say that this team couldn't win without Jamal Shead. They were down 1 point at the half. Now, again, I get it. They were up 6. So they were down 1 at the half. This team lost by 3. And they had moments in that second half where they were down a couple of points. They had opportunities to win the game, and they just didn't. Now, does Shead have the ball in his hands as opposed to somebody else like Sharp or Cryer? Yeah, sure, probably so. But does Shed find Sharp or Cryer to knock down those shots and make it easier for them to get those shots? Yeah, sure. And that's the difference. That's what having Shed does, is he can run the point. He can, have the ball in his hands and draw the defense, which creates a better look for Sharp instead of Sharp having to try to get that three himself, which it was a more difficult shot to try to create off the dribble as opposed to having Shed, try to dribble, penetrate, and kick the ball out for Sharp to knock it down instead. And it's the whole thing, right? The offense is completely different. I get that. But you know what's not a lot different without Shed in? And I understand he is a good defender, but he is one of 9 players on that team. Their defense let them down. Because their defense started to wane when Shed went out. And I think it was because they lost a little confidence in themselves as a team and as a unit, because they thought, oh shit, we can't do this without him. And there's one thing that you can control on defense, and that's effort. And you can't control, always if your shot's going to fall. You can't control the level of effort of defense for the other team or what plays they're going to run or anything else. But you can control effort on defense and how you play. And I just felt like that maybe they let off the gas a little bit. Maybe they felt like attitude-wise that they just didn't have a shot, because you could just kind of see they were getting bullied a little bit. There was one point where Filipowski went down the middle in that first half, and I don't remember who it was against. Was it Roberts or Francis? But he bodied up somebody, and he came up and he kind of flexed, and it was like, ooh, that does not happen to this U of H team. This Cougar team doesn't get bodied like that. This Cougar team doesn't get bullied like that. And I just felt like that had a lot to do with Shed going down. And, whether Kelvin Sampson will tell you that or not, but look, he said after the game, we're fighting with one hand tied behind our back. We lost our best player. We lost Jamal Shed. That's a tough road to hoe without Shed. And it is. And to their credit, they only lost by 3. But I think the question is, and it's all, hearsay, but to watch a Duke go on and just get their ass whooped by North Carolina State, who's playing really good basketball. Come on. You think the Cougars don't go in and beat North Carolina State? I do. I mean, I do. Because here's the thing. Let's just assume that Duke, let's just play what ifs for a second. Let's say Duke does make that first half run anyways with Shed and he doesn't get hurt and they take a lead into the first half. Cougars, the U of H, from what I've watched this year, have always been a second half team. They seem to always go in and make adjustments and come out. Their second halves have always seemed to be better than their first half, both their defensive intensity and offensively. They seem to figure out whatever it is in the second half, and I really feel like that's what would have happened in this Duke game, and I really think that's probably what would have happened in that North Carolina State game. So I tend to think that U of H would have been in the Final Four had Shed not gotten hurt. I also think there's somebody else on the line that probably feels the same way, and let's get her opinion now. Joining me on the program, as she always does, the one, the only, the magnificent Jenny's mom. Mother, hello, how are you? I got no audio from you, Jenny's mom. Uh-oh. SpaghettiOs. Jenny's mom. Let me see. Jenny's mom. Nope. Mother dear. Here, Mom, let me do this. Hang up and call back, Mama. Just disconnect and reconnect, okay? Yeah, just disconnect and reconnect. That should get it. Oh, let's see what the chat is saying. I was hoping U of H would get revenge from losing to North Carolina State. Yeah, at 86. Yeah. UH still loses to Purdue in the Final Four. That could be the case. Yeah, okay, Mom. I see your meters bouncing up and down now. That sounded gross. That sounded like you were at a strip club. All right. Now, proper introduction time. Join me every Monday, or joining me on the show like she does every single Monday. The beautiful, the talented, the one and only Jenny is Mom. Jenny, how are you?
Well, I'm okay.
Are you though?
Disappointed.
Are
Yeah.
you? I know.
Well,
bless their hearts, as you would say. Bless their hearts.
There's one thing you left out.
Oh?
I agree with everything you said.
Okay.
But you got to remember too that Jerron Roberts only played 29 minutes in that game. And he was playing injured a lot of the time. And he's been playing injured the last 2 or 3 games.
The whole year. Yeah. Well,
yeah. So I think if you take his injury, because they took him out for a while, and they put in the bench players, and we stayed in the game. Tell you the truth, when Shed went down, I said that's the game, because I'm surprised that they only lost by 3. I'm surprised they only lost by 3. I thought it would be an embarrassment like the Iowa State game or something. But it was really sad. I've been thinking about this, and every year with U of H, they have these major injuries. And I really believe that they play as hard they play as hard in practice as they do in games. And I don't know how you can not get your guys hurt when they play like that all the time, the way that they play defense. And, they don't even get a break in practice, because they always talk about these commentators on TV say that, when they've set in on the practice, that these guys are playing the second team like they're playing a game. I mean, they're on the floor fighting each other for balls and all that. Well, that's a long season to do that and not expect people to get hurt, or at least have their body susceptible to injury because they're playing so hard all the time during the week and everything. That's just my thought. It's the same thing every year. It's those injuries and they're bad injuries.
It's a really good theory. That's actually a really good theory. It's I
mean, how hard can you push these guys, So
yeah,
and I think they're great. I mean, they play lights out all the time, even during the week, and I don't know how they give their bodies time to repair.
No, it makes a ton of sense, because it's one of those things where if you're that physical all year, and
wear and tear.
Yep. No, it makes a ton of sense, Mom. Look at you. I like it.
I was I felt so bad for them.
As soon as it happened, I was my first thought was, well, that's ball game. That's the season.
Yeah.
And then I was like, poor Mom. She's just going to be so devastated.
But, having said that,
I was gonna call the sheriff's department and send them over for a well check.
To see if I was all right.
I was like, shit, I might need to send them for a well check. Thank God Paul's there to check on you.
I know. And then I thought, well, I'll watch the Astros. They'll have a great
Jesus.
week. No, I mean, gee, come on.
Yeah.
And then the Rockets lost last night. They've been on a roll.
Well, that was expected. The Mavs are good. I mean, look. Really the Rockets were getting away with one because they were playing some pretty awful teams. And then they happened to catch OKC when Shai Gilgeous-Alexander wasn't playing. So
right, and but Dallas is really good.
Yeah,
but I was hoping I could find some winning team this weekend or something.
Well, ask the chat. They would have told you go watch the Dynamo or the Dash or the Sabercats. That's who was winning.
Hey, the Roughneck. What are the Roughnecks called?
They lost.
Oh, you're kidding.
No, they lost too. Damn it. Yeah, exactly. Just everybody's taking L's around here.
I'm going to have to burn all my T-shirts.
I'm taking L's. Everybody's taking L's, Mama. It's the damnedest thing.
Oh, God.
Yeah. What you been up to? How was your Easter? What'd y'all do?
Well, it was nothing. We really, I don't think I even told you I was in the hospital last week. And I know. But It
Well,
just
no, you
kind of
didn't
took.
tell me. It's kind of
I know.
important
Well,
to know.
no, it was just kind of a
Jesus, Mom.
routine test thing on my legs. Anyway, I was not feeling good after that for like 3 or 4 days. And so we just kind of laid around and did nothing over Easter. And I didn't even see any of the grandkids. But
Oh, really? Y'all didn't hide eggs or nothing?
no, we didn't do anything this year. I think I'm
No.
getting old or something. I don't know. And I
We,
didn't miss it either.
you know what? We didn't do much. I mean, I went. Nora, she's got a new niece.
Oh,
Her
really?
Well, her niece had a baby.
Oh, it's her
So,
grandniece.
is that what it
Yeah,
is? A
her great
grand
niece.
niece? A
Great
great
niece.
niece or a
Great niece.
grand niece?
Great niece. She's a
I
grand
mean,
aunt and a great
I've met
niece.
her. She's not great. I would say she's a good niece. You know what I mean? Just kidding. She's great. She is the cutest.
I know
She
her.
is
I know her.
great.
She
Oh
is
my God.
darling.
She's the sweetest, cutest little baby.
And she's got
Yeah. Oh, she's the cutest. So we went over there to her mom's house for an hour or two, and that's it.
oh, well,
She
that's
skedaddled.
good.
She reminds me. Nora's like Papa, like my grandfather in a lot of ways. Chat. Like my grandfather would show up to an event. He'd spend about 10 minutes and be like, "Well,
And want to go home.
heading to the truck," and that'd be it. Like
That's
he'd get he's out. He don't give a shit. He's done. That's Nora. We'll show up. She'll hang out for a little bit. She'll be like, "Well, you ready?" And I'm like, "What? Goddamn, we just got here."
just
Like,
got here. You know what? My mother was like that. My mother would come by and just leave something on the porch and run. So she didn't have to come in and stay.
crazy as shit. I'm like, okay, well, yeah, that's all
Yeah.
right then.
Something about getting old. People just like to be around their house.
Yeah, it's like,
I don't know.
okay then.
Oh,
I
gosh.
guess. Whatever
Yeah.
works for you. Shit. Yeah.
So did you get an Easter basket and some chocolate?
She got me like a Reese's chocolate bunny and a couple cigars.
Oh,
She
well,
knows-
that's good. That's
She knows
good for
what
your
I
health.
like. Yeah.
Yeah, that's
Yeah,
good
yeah,
for your
yeah. Of
health.
course. Thanks for the
I've been
big
meaning to talk to you about that.
thanks for
about
the
all this
big
cigar
chocolate
smoking.
bunny while I'm on a diet, Nora. Really appreciate that.
Hey, I've been on a diet for a month and a half, and what does Paul give me? He gives me a chocolate Easter bunny, and I ate the whole thing in one day.
Mother.
My thinking was, I'll just eat it and get it over with. Just
And?
have all those calories in one day.
Yeah. And that
And I
didn't
did.
go good, did it? Yeah.
Oh.
I that reminds me of two stories that I've got to share. I do this how long have you been coming on this show, Mom? Has it been a year? Have you been coming on this show for over a year now?
Gosh. I've been harassing you longer than that.
Oh, Jesus, tell me about it. Man.
It has been at least a year because I remember the last it has been over a year.
Well,
Wow.
I tell this story every year, and I don't care. I will continue to tell it until the day I die. It is one of my favorite stories ever. If you have kids, send them out of the room. This is the year that my mother made me an adult. I was, gosh, I don't know how old I was. Maybe I was. Well, we lived in Harvest Bend, so it couldn't have been too old. Maybe 8. No, I wasn't even 8. I might have been 7 or 8, maybe. And maybe. How old do you think I was, Mom? What did you do to your mic? Did you mute your mic, Mom? You lost your mic.
Hello?
There you go.
Hello?
There you go. You know, turn your
I
mic
think
off.
it's your equipment. I think
No.
it's your equipment.
Nope. I mean, it's very possible, but no. I'm gonna go ahead and say no, but it's probably my
But
equipment.
it's possible.
Yeah. So how old was I? Probably, Mom.
Probably 7.
I was probably
Yeah.
7. So
yeah.
one Easter, I go to my mom and I'm like, "Hey, Mom, I think I'm gonna ask the Easter Bunny for a bike."
Yeah.
And she was like, "Yeah, don't do that." And I was like, "Well, why not? I think I want a bike." She was like, "Nah, No, don't do that. I just maybe ask for something else. Do you need like maybe a new baseball glove or
chocolate?
I was like, no, I want a bike. I'm going to ask for a bike. She was like, I don't think you should do that. I think you should ask for something else. I don't think you should ask for a bike. And I was like, no, I'm going to ask for a bike. She's like, I don't think the Easter Bunny's going to get you a bike. And I was like, well, I'm going to ask for a bike, and the Easter Bunny's going to get me a bike because he's the Easter Bunny. And she was like, don't ask the Easter Bunny for a bike, Barry. It's not going to, don't do that. I was like, I'm asking the Easter Bunny for a bike, Mom, because I want a bike, and it's the Easter Bunny, and the Easter Bunny will bring me a bike, okay? She was like, the Easter Bunny is not bringing you a bike this year. I was like, how do you know? And she's like, because the Easter Bunny is broke.
That's right.
And I sat there for like a split second, and I
And
was
I
like,
was.
you're the Easter Bunny. She goes, yep, and I'm Santa too. And then she just kept doing her hair. This is while we were getting ready in the morning. I was getting ready for school. She was getting ready for work. And she just goes, yep, and I'm Santa too. And she just kept. And I was
That's right.
And it was
I
like,
was so
I was
glad that
7
was
years
over
old.
with.
And right after that, she made me start doing her taxes. I had to get a job. It was just, God.
You were so rotten.
Yeah.
Don't lie to
that
these
was
people.
the day I started smoking and drinking.
Oh, God.
7 years old. Right there.
You were so spoiled rotten by me. Mm-hmm.
Just tore me up.
Yeah, I know.
I'll
Poor
tell you what
baby.
though. I do remember one year I got one of those chocolate bunnies. And Jesus Christ. I don't remember how big it was, but I ate the whole thing.
And you got really sick.
Oh my God. It made me so sick. It was like, you ever drank so much where you're just like, I'm never drinking again. And then like you smell like, let's say you drink tequila and you just.
And you smell like tequila forever.
Well, no, like the next time you smell tequila, you're just like, oh, like it just makes you sick. I was like that with chocolate for years. I couldn't get near chocolate. If I smell chocolate, I'd be like, like, I swear to God, I couldn't get around chocolate.
And Nora gave you a chocolate Easter bunny.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh,
Can you believe that shit?
Oh, I
Terrible.
know.
Absolutely
You were pretty
terrible.
spoiled. I just want you to know there wasn't much you wanted you didn't get.
I know.
Unless the Easter bunny was broke.
Yeah.
Well, I held down a couple jobs, but I think I was in between two jobs, and I only had one job going at that time. So,
What the hell happened there? The chat had a question for you.
what?
Tony the Handsome wanted to know, did Jenny ever consider giving up Barry for adoption? You son of a. What the hell kind of. This is where you jump in and say no, Mom, really quickly. This is where you.
No. I was going to say that you were the light of my life.
Thank you. Shit,
You were
dude,
my
you
joy.
take too damn
You were-
long, though.
You were the easy kid that was such a joy. I don't know what happened to you when you got to be an adult and you got to be a little shit.
Well,
But
God,
when you were a kid, you were just a wonderful child.
see.
And then you
Suck
grew
it.
up.
Suck it, nerds. What?
And then
What now?
you
Now
grew
wait
up.
a damn minute. Now
And then
hold
you
on.
ended up giving me a hard time on the chat.
Well, now hold on a damn minute. All right. All right, Mother. I'm gonna let you go. I've got a guest today joining me at 4:00. Slade Ham's gonna join me for the
cool.
rest of the show. Yeah.
Okay.
So,
All right.
we're gonna
Well-
hang out. I'm sorry about your Cougs. Love
Yeah.
you. Yeah.
Go
it happens.
Astros. Go somebody.
Jesus. Let's go Texans. Guess we're
Love you
back.
guys.
Guess we're back to being a
Oh,
football
yeah, the
town now,
Texans.
huh?
Oh yeah, absolutely. Absolutely.
Yeah,
Gonna
there's
have to
always
be.
that, right?
Hi everybody.
All right, Mother. I love you to death, and I
Love
will
you.
hopefully see you soon. You know what my plan was, right? I had told you. I told
What?
you. Well, I had told you if the Cougs made the Elite Eight, we were going to watch it together.
I know.
And that made me sad, too. I was like, well, shit.
I know. That would have been so much fun.
I
But
know.
next year,
Yep.
they just got to quit. They got to quit getting all these injuries. They got to come up with a plan.
I agree. Well, I love you, Mother.
Every year. I love you too.
All
Bye.
right, bye. That's Jenny's mom, everybody. She joins me every single Monday. Come hang out with her. She's the best, absolute best. Love hanging out with her. Good times, as always, with her. Always the best stories and tons of fun. Really so much fun growing up with her, man. I could not have had a better mother. I just so blessed. She was so cool. Everybody called her mom, by the way. Like all my friends, she was the mom that everybody called mom.
That's for Saturday.
Everybody called her mom. Like that's how cool she was. Like every friend that came over, she was mom. Everybody be like, "Hey, mom, can I spend the night tonight?" She was mom. Uh-oh, what happened here? Somebody that got timed out. Total Dallas, right? Yep. That's for Saturday. What do you do Saturday? Okay, well, sorry, Total Dallas. Your ass done got timed out. Alan Disney said, no Santa, no Easter Bunny, no Tooth Fairy. What's this? What's next? No Great Pumpkin? Exactly. Exactly. Did you say that to all your children? Yes, she did, Eddie. Yes. Yes, she does. Jenny, tell us the truth. That story happened when Barry was 29. Shut up, Amos. That's not true. That is not true. Kiss my ass. All right. Let's see. All right, let's get to let me get through these rest of these headlines real quick. And then we're going to get to our birthday. And then we're going to take a break. And then when we come back from the break at 4 o'clock, I'm going to be joined by a guest for the remainder of the show. Slade Ham is going to be joining me. You don't want to miss it. Slade is a fixture on the comedy scene here in Houston. And really, the dude is a world traveler. He is a fascinating dude. You're not going to want to miss this. He's going to hang out for an hour. We're going to talk all things comedy. We're going to talk all things travel. We'll talk about his upcoming special that drops tomorrow. We've got a ton of things to discuss, including just the grind of this business. We just did that show with Trey Tutson on Thursday at the Improv, and I was like, yo, come on the show and let's just rap. And he was like, well, what do you want to talk about? I was like, well, we'll talk about whatever the hell do we talk about. No pressure. Let's just hang out. Let's just shoot the shit for an hour. He's like, all right, shit, let's do it. But I was like, send me some clips. And I'll throw some on there. So I'll have a clip from his upcoming special, which is called Signal Noise, which is dropping tomorrow. Tuesday, April 2nd at 2 p.m. And I will have links for you to watch that special. And here is the premiere link. I'm going to put it in the chat now. And you will be able to, if you go to that link, you should be able to click on notify me, and it'll let you know when it is live. Then you can go watch it. You can watch it before you come to this show. So at 2 o'clock, you can watch it and then come back to this show, or you can go watch it after this show is over. Up to you. But yeah, just we'll have that. We'll have Slade, and I'll have a bunch more. So let's do that. But let's get through the rest of these headlines real quick, and we won't belabor the point, just so you have them. Police are searching for Rashi Rice. He got in a wreck in Dallas or something. I don't know. It's crazy. But apparently they're looking for him, and it is not good. And Chiefs fans are like, oh, shit. It says law enforcement officials said the Dallas Morning News reported that a vehicle that is believed to be registered to or leased to Rice was involved in a crash in Northeast Dallas at around 6:20 local time on Saturday. Police call sheet obtained by the Dallas Morning News confirmed that officials are searching for Rice in connection with the crash. So sounds like allegedly kind of a hit and run or leaving the scene of an accident type situation. So could be racing. Yes, that's correct, Alan Denson. This is a Lamborghini. The Dallas police spokesperson told the newspaper that a driver in a Chevrolet Corvette and a driver in a Lamborghini were speeding and both lost control of their vehicles. Lamborghini hitting the median wall and causing a chain reaction collision involving 4 other vehicles. In all these situations, you have to wait until you have all the facts. So, bad news. Bad news. Allegedly. Another crazy thing, the 3-point line in Portland was not the same distance for the Longhorns. And who was the other team? It was, it was, who was it? It was the Longhorns, and who did they play? They lost too. Oh, NC State. Yeah. They lost 76-66, but they both agreed to play. They were like, yeah, well, we don't want to delay it. So, and if you think about it, they play at both ends of the court. So they both had to shoot from it, but you could see, and I actually have a photo of the slide. It's crazy. It's some weird, wild stuff. Look at this. Look at your screen. Look at this. You can clearly see a difference between the two. So there's the full court, and then I blew up the left and the right for you. I mean, it's obvious. There's a difference between the top of the key. I mean, how does that happen? How does that happen in 2024? That baffles me. You got to be one dumbass person for that to happen. That's crazy. Hey, Rudy Rod had said, I think you need to get the train conductor on the show. No, I ain't bringing his ass. Why? So we can jinx this show too? I don't think so, Rudy Rod. Yeah, so that happened. And I thought for sure whoever lost that game was going to appeal, but nope. They pretty much, if you agreed to play, that's your bad. But that's why, I mean, that's a big difference. That's a big difference that you can clearly see between the two 3-point lines. So that was a thing. Some more news sources are saying that the Sixers' Joel Embiid could return as soon as Tuesday. There's about 6 games left. He could be back in time for the playoffs. Sixers holding on to the 8th seed. They're definitely going to make at least the play-in. For sure. They are the 8th seed, so they'll definitely make the play-in. But they definitely need him for that, so that, make the play-in. That's how that's your chance to make the playoffs. No, I don't think, let me look at the standings, but I don't think they have a chance to bump up to the 6th seed and skip they're 2 back in the loss column of the Pacers for the 6th seed. I mean, that's not insurmountable. I don't know. Do they play the Pacers down the stretch? I mean, if they could get him back and they play the Pacers, no. Let's see. They've got Philly has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 games left. If they got him back on Tuesday, they would have Oklahoma City, Miami, Memphis, San Antonio, Detroit, Orlando, and Brooklyn left. The Pacers have Brooklyn twice, OKC, Miami, Toronto, Cleveland, and Atlanta. I mean, I guess 2 games ain't too bad, but he's got to shake off the rust. But at least he'll have that in time for the playoff or the play-in series to start. And again, your Rockets finally lost to Dallas. And couldn't have come at a worse time because dadgummit, Golden State won. They've now won 4 in a row. Hate to see that. All that work that the Rockets did, and dadgummit, San Antonio didn't hold up their end of the bargain. Yesterday Golden State won. They play Dallas tomorrow, and then Golden State and Houston play on April 4th. So that should be fun. But then Golden State has to play Dallas again. So Golden State plays Dallas, Houston, and Dallas over their next 3. That'll be interesting. All right, last one. Former NFL cornerback Vontae Davis was found dead in his home at the age of 35. Played for the Bills, the Dolphins. Who else did he play for? I guess I could look it up. Vontae Davis. Who am I missing? Bills, Dolphins, Colts. Bills, Dolphins, Colts. Not in that order. Dolphins from 2009 to 2011. Colts from 2012 to 2017. And then Bills was his last season. 2-time Pro Bowler. 2-time first team All Big Ten. And Pro Football Writers of America All Rookie Team in 2009. Finished his career with 396 tackles, 2 sacks, 98 pass deflections, 22 interceptions, 4 forced fumbles, and a touchdown. Yep. So tragic, sad news. No cause of death yet, but they did say that no foul play was. They don't suspect foul play at this time. So real quick before we bounce to a break, and shout out to Jerome Solomon for sending this to me. Here's a video of oh shoot, let me make sure I read this right. This is a video. Let's see. This was from Jabal Abdul Simmons on Twitter or X. But it says, and he put, I know a million people are going to post this, but this is Shady McCoy and Tre'Davious White retelling the story of Vontae Davis retiring mid-game. It is one of the funniest football videos ever. Rest in peace to a legend. So we're going to watch that. And then after we watch it, we're going to take a break. And then we're going to come back. I'm going to play you some Slade Ham goodness, some stand-up clips from Slade Ham. One of them is going to be a clip from his upcoming special that'll be released tomorrow called Signal Noise. And then I'll play you a fantastically hilarious crowd work clip. And then I'm going to bring on the man, the myth, the legend himself, Slade Ham. Is going to join me from 4 o'clock until 5 o'clock, 4-ish. Yeah, and we're going to do the damn thing. So here, let's check out this clip of Vontae Davis, the story of Vontae Davis just retiring mid-game. Check this out.
Me and Trey went to his house because we had to know what was going on.
Yeah.
Like, what made you? And he said, Shady, I'm out there, Shady, and just, Shady, you Shady McCoy. You can't call the dime. It's time to go. It's a young man's game.
Yeah.
That's how he talk.
Hey, my dog Vontae said, nah, man. Well, he told me on the side, we came like a 3-and-out. He had just made like a big stop on 3rd down. He had put his fist up, got the crowd pumping, everything. So we got to the sideline. You know what I mean? Offense going. So we about to punt. Coach was like, y'all get ready. He was like, yeah, I'm done, young boy. I was like, hold on. He was like, yeah, this my last go round. So I looked at him. I was like, what you mean? Like, this gonna be your last year? He was like, nah, this gonna be my last game. I'm done, man. He said that boy. They said, I'm done, young Trey, man. Y'all boys got this is a young man's game, man. I just ain't got it no more.
Yo,
man.
hey,
I'm thinking the whole time, like, why the fuck would you go through OTAs and camp if you gonna do this shit?
Yo, I heard he told Coach. He said, yeah, I'm done, man. I'm done. Coach said, wait, all right, you done this series? All right, just come in next year. He said, nah, Coach. I'm done. I mean, I'm finished. I'm finished.
Hey, look, my dog started taking this tape off. You know he wore the wrist tape.
Oh, yeah. Right. He take it off.
He took it off. He started taking it off. So, man, hey, nah.
That's so fantastic. He retired mid-game. That is legendary shit from Vontae Davis. Rest in peace to Vontae Davis. Found dead in his home at the age of 35, man. That is young. Again, no word yet on how he passed. But yeah, I'm sure they'll announce something. But that's a legendary story, man. He just gets a big stop and goes to the sidelines and he goes, well, I'm done. And they're like, oh, you mean for the game? No, I'm done. I retired right now. That's some legendary shit. Could you imagine that'd be like just quitting comedy mid-set. Like you get a big laugh and you're like, yeah, I think now would be a good time. I mean, just put the mic in and walk off and just never come back. That would be so boss. God damn, that would be fantastic. I should do that on this show. I should just be like, oh yeah, that's great. You know what? Fuck it. To just never come back. Oh, God, that'd be so fantastic. All right, we're going to take a quick break. When we come back, I've got a couple of clips for you from Slade Ham, and then he's going to join me on the show. And we are going to get into it. Yes, the Defender 179, rest in peace to Vontae Davis. You will be missed indeed. And thank you for joining the show. Welcome into the show. All right. Let's take this break, and then when we come back, like I said, Slade Ham's going to be here. I've got 2 clips for you. We're going to run those, and then we're going to get into it. Don't go anywhere. Quick little break, 2-3 minutes max, and yeah, we're going to get into it. So let's sit on the corner and do some dope, and I'll see you shortly. Don't go anywhere. This is Barry on Deck. I'm your host, Barry Laminack. Stick around, bitches.
I got your bitch. Spin down the goddamn corner doing dope. Spin down the goddamn corner doing dope. Spin down the goddamn corner doing dope. Corner doing dope. They are to be ashamed. Spin down the goddamn corner doing dope. Spin down the goddamn corner doing dope. Spin down the goddamn corner doing dope. Corner doing dope. Goddamn right, bitch. Look at here. There you go. They're out here sharing marijuana. Look at here. There you go. The same old nasty ass people from last week. Corner doing dope. Corner doing dope. Corner doing dope. Corner doing dope. Goddamn corner doing dope. Corner doing dope. Corner doing dope. Goddamn right, bitch. Spin down the goddamn corner doing dope. Spin down the goddamn corner doing dope. Spin down the goddamn corner doing dope. Corner doing dope. 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 Goddamn right, bitch. Goddamn right, bitch. Goddamn right, bitch. Goddamn right, bitch. Corner doing dope. 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 Spin down the goddamn corner doing dope. Spin down the goddamn corner doing dope. Spin down the goddamn corner doing dope. Corner doing dope. Goddamn right, bitch. Look at here. There you go. They're out here sharing marijuana. Look at here. There you go. The same old nasty ass people from last week. Corner doing dope. Corner doing dope. Corner doing dope. Corner doing dope. Goddamn corner doing dope. Corner doing dope. Corner doing dope. Goddamn right, bitch. Spin down the goddamn corner doing dope. Spin down the goddamn corner doing dope. Spin down the goddamn corner doing dope. Corner doing dope. 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 Goddamn right, bitch. Goddamn right, bitch. Goddamn right, bitch. Goddamn right, bitch. Corner doing dope. 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 Spin down the goddamn corner doing dope. Spin down the goddamn corner doing dope. Spin down the goddamn corner doing dope. Corner doing dope. Goddamn right, bitch. Look at here. There you go. They're out here sharing marijuana. Look at here. There you go. The same old nasty ass people from last week. Corner doing dope. Corner doing dope. Corner doing dope. Corner doing dope. Goddamn corner doing dope. Corner doing dope. Corner doing dope. Goddamn right, bitch.
Hey, welcome back to hour number 2. Well, actually, the last hour of Barry on Deck, I should say. I'm your host, Barry Laminack. Thank you guys for sticking around through the break. Those of you that did, those of you that didn't, can go fuck yourself. Y'all know how to deal. Y'all know what the deal is. All right, hey, man, get your shot glasses out real quick before we get rolling. Y'all know what it is. We got a birthday in the house. As you know, we celebrate birthdays for our Patreon members. My boy, my dog, actually our newest Patreon member too. We got to celebrate. Yeah, he is our newest. And he joined in, I think, December. So we got to get my mans in real quick. My dog Spoon in the house. Let's go, Spoon. Oh, look at that. That's a beautiful. I know Slade is in the green room like, what in the fuck is this? That is the most beautiful birthday song. And that is beautiful birthday goodness. Get your shot glasses out, ladies and gentlemen. Help me wish my boy. I even got the Jameson out for you, Spoon. I went top shelf for your bitch ass, man. I gotta say shout out to Spoon too. My guy he made a fantastic video for promotion for a show, and it paid dividends. Spoon, you the best, bro. I appreciate you, fam, for everything you do, not just for the show, but for me, for being a dope-ass friend and a fantastic human being. So, Spoon, brother, happy birthday to you, man. Thanks for supporting the show. I hope you get roadhead or a hand job or whatever it is you're into. It's probably animal or food related or butt stuff or pegging. I don't know. It's some weird shit, I'm sure, but it probably combines all that, like a pegging an animal with a carrot. I don't know how you do it, but Spoon, I love you, buddy, man. Happy birthday to you. Cheers. That's good shit. Man, we hadn't had that in a while. Spoonie. Whoo. Oh, damn. Hey, Rudy Rob, what's up, buddy? Good to see you, man. Spoon said, what we do in private is just that, Barry. You shut your whore mouth, all right? We don't do none of that. Hey, what's up, Joe Pro? Good to see you, man. Joe Pro said, hope you get the big spoon. Yes, see? Spoon. I think that's how he got his nickname. He spooned an animal. I believe that's how it went down. Happy birthday, Spoon. I appreciate you, big man. All right. There you go. Stop the presses. All right, man. Spooning leads to forking. I hate you for that. That was not okay. All right. It is time, ladies and gentlemen, as promised. My man's coming up next. I'm excited about this. This is a long time coming. He has a special coming up tomorrow at 2 p.m. It is his first special, and it is fantastic. I'm going to let him tell you all about it, but I've got a clip from the special, and then I've just got an absolutely hilarious clip of it's a crowd work clip. And there's a lady that he said there's a lady that he was determined to keep in the show without it getting ugly. So I'm going to run those. And I don't know if this was for tomorrow or not. Fuck it. I'm running both. If I need to get another one, I'll get another one. But I'm going to run that clip first. And then I'm going to run a clip from the special. And then I'm going to bring in Slade Ham and we're going to chop it up and have a good time. So first, let's watch a couple of clips from Slade. And then let's get into it. Where the hell did they go? Here we go. All right. Y'all know how it goes. This damn. All right, here we go. Here's the first clip from Slade. Okay. Yeah, this is the crowd work clip. Check this out.
Pamela, we're going to hold it together. You are right on the verge. You are. Pamela is like handling nitroglycerin right now. All right. It's my birthday. She is having a magical time. It is not the same show we're seeing, but it is magical nonetheless. Pamela, you're like going to a drunk Chuck E. Cheese. That's what it is.
Hey, it's my birthday.
It's my birthday! Hey kids! It's my birthday! You look like you're about to fight the Men in Black. That's what it looks like. All the roaches gonna come out of you at the end of this movie. Like this. Oh, are you ready?
I came just to see you do that.
I believe that wholeheartedly. I've been bad this year. I deserve everything that comes my way. I know what I did. This is whatever. Whoever sent you karma, Santa, whatever. I don't know. Hey, listen. Y'all will never be this free. I don't know what your hang-ups are. You will never be this free. We all got shit in our head that will not let us be Pamela. Pamela, you're the kind of woman who would, well, listen, let's not get crazy. I don't know. But you're the kind of woman, this is what I respect in you. And this is why you've dealt with all your shit, Pamela. There's nothing undealt with in her. There's nothing simmering in the bottom. She's never had an unvocalized thought, right? We sit here and you put your head down like I do, man. You know how the thought comes through when you're like, sure. It just comes right out. It's on the table.
Mouth did it.
All right, we made it. Weirdly, made it to the very end with everybody still on the bus. Pamela, I hope you make it to 60. I do.
God, me too.
You're gonna be fine. You dating anybody right now? You thinking about it?
Well, I had a man for 7 years. He shot himself in the head. I got 16, so I'm single again.
Pamela, you are a human country song and a good one. I don't sing, but my heart is belting with some notes out right now. You can clap all day, but this redneck cheerleader is not going to talk me into becoming a country musician. Pamela, I believe you could sing a country song, my love, and if I thought you could navigate stairs, I would invite you up here. But you are a hillbilly hug I will never forget.
Dream about me, baby.
I will in weird ways, like I'm being chased or something. You know what I mean? Like one of those. Wait, you know how the ones where you keep running but your legs don't work? Do you know those? Y'all don't understand. There is a purity in this room tonight. We have experienced something together that is rare. We will never have this again. No matter where you go, no matter what 4 a.m. strip club you might attend, no matter what intersection stoplight you might leave your window rolled down at by the Galleria, there is no...
My mom said there was only one me. Thank God.
Just go to Slade Ham on YouTube and I'll look for you. I'm going to filter all of YouTube for the word Pamela. No one will ever be able to say that word on my page. This is going to be, I might turn you into a verb. Man, you really Pamela that night up the other night. Shit, I'm Pamela all over this room. You know? The triggers to this little Beaumont kid are just deep tonight. Here's what
You got Pamela.
Who said that? Who said I got Pamela? My man.
Oh, that's so fucking great.
Don't be funnier than me. Listen.
That's fantastic. All right. Look, I'm going to play this clip coming up from his special, and then I'm going to bring him on himself. Oh, my God. That's fucking so fantastic. Here is a 2-minute sneak peek at his upcoming special that he sent over. He was nice enough to share it with us. Give us a sneak peek before it drops at 2 p.m. tomorrow on his YouTube channel, which I am putting in the chat right now on both YouTube. So if you're already over there, you can go there, and on Twitch, and you click on it, and it'll take you to his YouTube channel. Make sure you go subscribe and follow. But you can sign also. Here is a clip to where the premiere will be of his special, and that will pop off at 2 p.m. tomorrow. It is called Signal Noise, and here is a clip of the special. Check this out, and then I'll bring him on.
Disease. There are no horsemen of the apocalypse to worry about. Disease is over. What? Famine, death, war. We're doing all right. When was the last time you saw a famine? People used to die from not eating enough food. That was the problem. Now, we beat it. We won. People used to die from not eating enough. Now more people die every year from eating too much. We won. Starvation, starvation, starvation. Pfft, America. You understand? Famine showed up and we ate its horse. Do you get it? You can't starve to death in America. You told me you starved to death in America, they should just rule it a suicide. They should just... He meant to do that. Check his search history. There is something going on here. You couldn't find food in America? You couldn't find a Girl Scout with some cookies? Or a tamale man? Tamales, tamales, tamales. You couldn't find somebody trying to feed you for the Instagram photo? You couldn't. Eat this sandwich, homeless man. How do you say so skinny? Click, click. It's because our food doesn't chase us back anymore. We were in better shape when we had to work harder for it. Now, everything comes freshly delivered to your door, but our ancestors worked a little harder. Remember that? Back in the day, if your wife wanted saber-toothed tiger for your anniversary, you better limber up, bitch. Just... Now we have pre-cut avocados for your weak hands.
Oh, that's so fantastic, man. I'm so excited that he is joining me on the show right now. Ladies and gentlemen, without further ado, I know I have made you guys wait too long, and this has been a long time coming. We just worked together Thursday on the Tutson Interruption, and I was like, bro, you got a special coming out Tuesday. Pop on the show Monday. Let's hang out and talk shop and shoot the shit, and we'll run some clips, and yeah, we'll promote the show. And he's like, dope, let's do it. So joining me on the program right now, the list of accomplishments for this man are a mile long, and I don't even know how long he's been in the business. I know he has traveled the globe. I want to say he has done comedy in 60 countries. He has performed for our servicemen and women countless times. He is the brainchild behind the Whiskey Brothers. He has probably learned and forgotten more about comedy than I'll ever know. And I have a story that is near and dear to my heart about this man. But ladies and gentlemen, joining me on the program right now, Mr. Slade Ham. Slade, buddy, how are you?
Hey, cheers, Spork. Happy birthday.
Cheers.
It's coffee, but I wish you the best.
Look at that. Spoon, Spork, you got one extra shot. What's up, man? How you doing?
I'm fantastic. It's good to be here. What a great show. How fun. The energy it's fun. I mean, I want to go back to the green room and watch the show.
Thanks, dude. Dude, I'm loving the background. Look at that. Dude, yes. How many helmets do you have? That's fantastic.
There's a bunch. There's like 8 back there. So I collect masks. I've collected them from all over the world. It's a dumb thing I started doing because I wanted to. And then the helmets are just, I remember when Star Wars first started doing the little pre-show crawl, right? You would see the lights flicker and the helmets would change before a movie started. Yeah. And I would always go, man, that looks so cool. I want a Star Wars helmet. Well, I got one, and then one ended up being 2. And then I was like, well, they fit perfect in these shelves. And then now I have a bunch, and now we're in a YouTube world where everything's a backdrop. So
yeah. Oh yeah,
they're
of course.
Backdrop.
Dude, that's so badass. Yeah. And we've got a ton of Star Wars folks in the chat and that watch this show. So I know they're all geeking out right now. They absolutely love that shit. So yeah, you've probably just caused a ton of boners in the chat for sure. All right, so let's first
nerds, man.
What's that?
I said we used to be nerds, and now we it's important to embrace it. The underdog has risen up. We've taken over, and the new Revenge of the Nerds movie should all feature us guys getting a hold of the jocks, and it should be flip-flopped, and that's how we should do it.
100%.
Risen up.
It used to be a subculture, and now It is culture, and it's the opposite, right? It is the
what I
jock
mean.
culture
The
is
jock
subculture. Yeah.
would get beaten up right now just by the sheer mob of nerds. You can outnumber them. It's like fighting midgets or children or whatever. There's just at a certain point, you can't defeat us all.
Oh, no. And you guys now are doing the whole LARPing thing, so you're actually physically fit. It's not even fair.
You guys just all of a sudden, I went from having a fucking Star Wars helmet to hitting people with brooms in a field and calling it magic. No, I don't think that's the same thing, Barry. I don't think it's the same thing.
Like, hold on.
You guys rolling your dice to make life decisions. No, I happen to grow up in the 70s, you prick, and there's a stormtrooper helmet on a shelf, and suddenly I'm throwing bags of wheat at people and lightning or whatever.
Suddenly I'm making swords out of wood, and yeah, not me, buddy, not me. Oh, that's hilarious. Oh God,
it's really
that's so
nuanced,
funny.
And somewhere in there is too far, and I don't know if it's making your own sword.
I think I might have found it somewhere. I think I found too far somewhere on the shelf back there.
When you get in the car and drive to the LARPing field, you're too far. But everything you do in your home studio that's your own business, man. Keep the government out of my nerdism. That's what I.
That's fantastic, dude. Are you at all nervous about the special dropping tomorrow at 2 p.m.? Is there any angst? Or I know me, I'd be like, what if I drop this and then it gets one view and it's me? Like, are you feeling that at all, dude? Like, I don't mean to put that on you and project that on you, but how are you feeling about this?
I'm going to answer this question dead sincere.
Okay.
One, if tomorrow the special drops and 24 hours later it has 1 million views, I would look at you and say, Barry, there is no doubt in my mind that was what was going to happen. I knew it. I knew it as we were making it. I knew it when I put it out. I knew it. And then if I put it out tomorrow at 2 and, for instance, 16 people watch or something, right? I will tell you, Barry, beyond the shadow of a doubt, I knew that's what was going to happen. No question about it.
Doesn't matter.
Knew.
Yeah.
So I say that to say this. There's no way of knowing. There is no business model for stand-up. There is no if this, then that is guaranteed. Tomorrow could be either end of that spectrum, most likely somewhere in between the two. But I've made my peace with this special way before we ever got to tomorrow. This was a thing that I had to sit back. The Chinese say, I don't know if all Chinese say this, but some Chinese guy said this. It's an old proverb. He said that the things you decide on ahead of time are the stakes, the rules, and the quitting time. And for me, I needed to figure all that out, because you get in the heat of the moment. If I start deciding tomorrow around 2:00 how I'm going to feel, depending on the number of views this thing gets, this is where people leap from buildings and drink more stuff. I mean, I don't want to be in a spot where I'm reacting that way. So I just sat down and decided that if we got to the point where this was made and finished and done and of the quality that I want it to be, and it is, that my job with it is over. My expectation with it is over. It stops sort of being mine. I'll do everything I can. I'll push it. I'll do all the requisite parts. But like my expectation or desire, like, oh, is this what's going to happen tomorrow? I swear to God, I could sleep at 2. I could be asleep at 2:00 tomorrow and forget about this and wouldn't be emotionally charged about it.
I got to admit, and I'm going
to, I'm excited, but like I'm about to jump out of an airplane and go skydiving excited. But not nervous, like, oh, the chute might not open or this might not be what I want it to
No,
be, you know?
Slade, you have this calmness about you that you have found that you and I talked about on the way to a gig years ago, where I don't even remember where the fuck we were going. We worked together.
Paris or something, maybe?
Where was it?
Like Paris, Texas or something?
Yes. Maybe? It might have been Paris, Texas, but you and I
only said I do with a stretch. I took a lot of guys. There were Matthew Broussard was on that list. There were some really good comics that was a good farm room.
So
you talked about how you were just like, you know what? I'm tired of chasing social media. And you literally at one point, you just between that moment and now, you just were like, fuck it. You were just like, I give up. And not in a way where you were like, I quit. It was just like, I'm not going to chase this demon anymore. I'm going to be okay with just not caring about social media. Like, it's not going to rule my life. I'm going to live my life. I'm going to do the things I enjoy and that I love. And I'm not going to let this thing have this grip on me that it does on so many other people in the profession that we're in. And so many other people around, that either just in general, you know what I mean? Like, it's just, I'm so envious of that.
Well, it's incredibly difficult because all of the industry says otherwise, right? And I'm not like la 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 la. You can only ignore some of it to a certain point. And then you got to go, well, I mean, people have been having to promote their art for all of forever.
Yeah.
It's you could be busking on a corner, or you could be buying TV ads or going on. There's always something that you have to deal with in that regard. But this is the one that social media, I have seen change more artists than I've seen artists break out. Like, I've seen people do really well, and then I watch them become this thing that they never intended to be. It's either they were great stand-ups, and the audience that they found online turned them into either far right or far left. They got pulled into water that wasn't them. And it's a weird amplification effect that happens with social media. So, one, I don't want that to happen.
Yeah.
Two, I don't like being reactive to anything. It's if I got to wake up, I went through this during the pandemic a little bit with stuff like the stock market and things where you start to play a little bit. And I'm like, wait a second, I know my dumb monkey brain, and it responds really addictively to numbers going up and down and charts and graphs and metrics. And this is like a heroin addict walking into the den where everybody's flopped out in the house, and they're all, and you're like, well, this is not where I'm supposed to be. I do this really, really badly. So all of that fear, man, just kind of hit me. And then I was like, how do I really, this is the big question I ended up asking myself. I was like, how do I want to spend my day? Like, instead of trying to chase what everybody's chasing, which sounds so cliche, and we do it, but like, if you backwards engineer, what do I want my days to be like? When I wake up to when I go to bed, how do I want to spend them, with who, how much of it doing this or that or where? And when you start asking yourself those questions and then try to figure out the mechanism to that, instead of trying to figure out what you can cobble together with what you have, it's a whole different thing. And that's where the last 3 or 4 years of just making specials and learning to capture stuff and kind of quietly sitting back and realizing, if I don't have anything of value to say, why don't I just shut the fuck up, right? You don't see Christopher Nolan on TikTok every day. He shows up every 5 years, grabs all your Oscars, and crawls back in his little factory where he makes magic happen, right?
Yeah.
Why do I'm not saying I don't want to be Christopher Nolan, but I also don't want to be the kid in his bathroom having to talk in the mirror and make a funny voice just to get something up by noon, because that's not really what I started out to do either.
And I literally was talking about that the first hour of this show. I mean, that's where I'm at, because that's the game. You and I talked about this in the green room on Thursday, and that's where we're kind of both at in this comedy game. Is we both literally, in kind of different ways, came to that realization that as headliners, we're being told in so many ways, you got to get your numbers up. If you want to get booked, you got to have numbers. And it's like, yeah, I get it. But if I have numbers,
but hang on, this is right. That's the trick. That's the trick. Once you realize there is no spoon, or whatever the hell it is, there's not you, birthday dude. I'm talking Matrix shit. But when it's such a weird thing where and then once you realize that, okay, well, they're telling me they won't work me unless I got the people. But if I get the people, I don't need them. Once that epiphany sort of hits you, and you just go, well, all I got to do is cut out all this stuff in between me and the people. I know there's people, they like what I do. why do we keep needing, and it's the same thing with social media platforms where I'm just sort of this intermediary between me and the people that enjoy my output and that I enjoy their input. Like it's communal, what I think I have with my audience.
Dude,
and I'd rather have those deeper connections. So it's just sort of, we're all racing to get to this epiphany, I think. Holy shit, we don't need anybody. And it's all been democratized and the tools are on the table and everything's open source. And what you don't know how to do, AI will do for you. And that's I'm afraid that the AI is going to make the unfunny kids funny. And that's the only fear I have. You can replace every job but that one.
You know, I'm not so I'm not so worried about that. I mean, yeah, I think there's a limit to that because just like anything, you know, I think with comedy, I think even when you see people steal jokes, they're still not funny.
Let me give you a hypothetical.
You know what I mean?
Right?
Like,
so I agree, but now let's go back to say let's look at Instagram and really attractive comics, right? Mm-hmm. Really attractive comics that just do better than one would think they would if it was just material based, perhaps, right? Now, envision a world. I'm saying sometimes hot people aren't funny, Barry. I'm not. What? I'm just saying, and they might get followers based on the fact that they're hot. Just a few, but now say you could.
You have anybody in mind? I can't think of anybody.
I know it's. I could if I Googled, perhaps.
Nobody's popping into my head.
If at some point you could run an Instagram channel where you were hot, Barry.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Where you were a perfect 10 delivering well-written material. Now that, and it's photorealistic and it's completely indistinguishable from you or ours ugly face. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But like the point is, if you get to the point where they can manufacture an avatar that can do well-written material that is stolen or taken from wherever. Now they're hot people with and I'm not afraid of it. I don't think it's sustainable. Those people certainly can't go to a comedy club, right. But should there be, I don't think those barriers should matter to us. I don't think the fact that those people are sort of being able to do that. I think when the clubs tell us you should bring in people like the guy who dresses up like a pine cone and sings songs or whatever it is, then we should go, you know what? It's on me to bring in the people. I don't have a right to perform comedy. I have a right to perform it. I don't have a right to an audience, if that makes any sense.
Yeah.
We miss the old days where I've been doing this for a quarter of a century now. So there was
When did you start?
2000. It was me. It was like, me, Big Ed Blake, Mo Ammer was a year before us, I think. That was my class.
So, man.
But that was when you could just get hired comic. Yeah. You could just get hired as a comic.
Yeah.
You could, here's some money. We have shows this weekend. Come on in.
You didn't have to worry about bringing the crowd. You didn't have to worry about selling tickets. The club was going to do that. All you had to be was funny, right? You be funny. Our job is to put the butts in the seats. But the business is flipped, right? I mean, that's because the pressure back in the day was you needed a credit, and that was the real pressure, was getting a credit, right?
I saw a meme the other day. Somebody said it, and I felt it so deep. But they were like, 20 years ago, all you needed was a couple of TV credits of any sort, and hey, I'm headlining everywhere in the country. And they were like, 24. I just opened for a hydraulic press in Sarasota. And you're like,
that is so accurate.
But this comes back to all of the tools have changed, right? Yeah. This didn't exist. This would have cost you and I $250,000 to do in 2003, right? This would have been absolutely prohibitive. So as these tools advance, you realize that these people, to become comics, don't have to do all the stuff, which was what we had to do. There were you had to actually physically write jokes, walk into a room full of strangers, sign up, put yourself out there, and you didn't even know if you did anything for months. Like there's no feedback to that outside of the crowd and the comics who are ignoring you. So now all you got to do is hold your phone up, film any funny, dumb sketch you think of. It's instantly online. It can go viral within seconds. You're famous within minutes. And that's how Now it's so much more competitive because the comedy clubs have those people to choose from.
Yep.
Is it fair? But it should be up to us to pitch a better product.
Yeah, it always evolves, right? I mean, the business, think about that when I mean, I want to bitch because I'm like, oh, well, it's not fair. But then I think back when comedy was evolving out of vaudeville and into the clubs, and you think about the vaudeville guys were like, this is bullshit. I say, yeah, you got that guy.
He's not even juggling.
Yeah, how are you going to go out here and just say some cockamamie joke? You're not even sharing it with the rest of us. This is bullshit. Like, you know
Didn't even bring his puppet.
Yeah. So
But it's if you look at every medium, it evolves, right? Like the attention span of the audience is part of it. It's if you look at film or TV or things like that. Remember the sitcoms of the 80s and 90s with these 2-minute intros that would just drone on forever. And you ask yourself how long that would last right now in a Mr. Beast YouTube world where you have to front load literally the best
7-second hook
and then get so when you're up against that attention span and the audience has that as an option, literally back then, if you're watching TV at 7:00 on a Saturday or a Friday, whatever day, and you don't like what's on, well, you basically got 2 other choices. So you better just sit through the 2-minute intro because there's not a whole lot of options. But in this option-filled world, we're sort of, we're not, I won't say disposable, but when they can just do this left and right, we got to find a way to either adjust to that, which is what so many of us are having to do, or realize that those are Confederate dollars. Those aren't, I can't spend likes. That my landlord won't take them. I can't put them in a gas tank. I can't eat them. I can't drink them. I can't make out with it. There's nothing. They're Confederate. They might as well be Zimbabwe dollars for all of the good I can do with them. And I do want people who enjoy what I do to have access to what I do. But to be like, smash the button, to be so instinctually to have to open with, make sure you smash that like button. It's starting to concern me. It's like,
it sucks,
they're like
dude.
ticks.
It's like when I first started to do that, when I first started making
I have
videos.
allergies, by the way. This isn't like a cocaine problem. I'm just like, I keep scratching my nose. And I'm like,
You're like,
do they think I'm lying
sorry,
or doing drugs? And I'm like, it's just pollen, and I'm trying not to sneeze.
I just want to point out his microphone is actually black. It's from so much cocaine use falling out of his nose onto it
100%.
that has just stained it. Yeah, no, he's just built in. It's just a little button he pushes and it pops up. He just snorts it right off the mic. No, I do. When I first started like making videos seriously and kind of incorporating social media and YouTube, I was that guy. I was like, I'm not going to be the guy that comes on my YouTube channel and is like and subscribe. I hate that shit. And then like recently I'm like, you have to. Like that's just, you literally, because if you go back to sales, you have to ask for the money. That you can't just assume the sale. You have to ask for the money. So YouTube and social media and all this shit is sales. You're selling a follow or a subscribe or whatever. So you have to ask for the sale. And the sale is, hey, if you enjoyed what you saw, hit that subscribe or hit follow or hit like. And it's like, but God damn it, I didn't want to do that. But honestly, Slade, and I'm being fully transparent because I was just talking about this at the beginning of the show in the first hour, and we briefly chatted about it in the green room. Literally every club that I have worked and headlined is like, I love you, but I have to book comics that can sell tickets because their social media numbers are in the 6 figures. And so now it's like, well, I've got 2 choices. I can go back to featuring and just being like, well, fuck it, I don't have to worry about it. Or I can get my numbers up. And getting your numbers up means hit like and subscribe and smash the button. Fuck. Like, I mean, that's, what do? You either play the game or you don't.
I'm not saying you shouldn't. I'm not saying that's the wrong decision. I think there is, though. There's a sense of urgency to it right now because this is all like literally 2 or 3 years old. This is act like this is kind
it's coming out of COVID is what it is. We came out of COVID, bro, and so many people in COVID became overnight successes. I mean, you look at how many guys, and I've just worked with one. I don't want to mention names, but I just worked with one. He was featuring going into COVID, right? And he was just kind of featuring on the road, and then COVID hit and he really couldn't work, just like any of us. We couldn't do. So he just started cutting videos and making videos, just fucking around, and he went viral. And he wasn't intending to. He was just bored, and it's that creative outlet that we all kind of have. Some of us are lazy and don't act upon it because you think of these ideas and I'm like, fuck it. But some of us go, oh, man, I'm going to write it and shoot it and make it and put it out there, and whatever happens, happens. And some of these cats went viral and their numbers got up. And now you go from, I'll drive 12 hours for a feature gig, and now this dude is touring nationally as a big time headliner, and I'm like, hey, thanks for the guest spot, I appreciate it. Fuck, you know what I mean? But that's the world we live in.
Then it is, but I would push back a little bit and say that because it is so new, so much of what is happening right now, and I know this because one of the jokes in this special is about dating an influencer, and I use the word influencer specific. And when I first started writing the joke,
dude, that's such a great clip.
Happy birthday!
Such a great clip, dude.
So fun. I made sure she stayed. It was one of those things that. Hang on one second.
Uh-huh.
So hang on. Let me go back to what I was saying. I totally lost my track on Pamela.
Sorry.
What was I saying? What was I saying right before you said Pamela?
We were talking about going viral during.
The point is, how long do these people stay in the game? How long does this last? Right? What isn't sustainable? Somebody has a decent idea and they go, "Oh, yeah, I can make videos about that." They're not confronting the reality of actually making videos like that with on any long-term basis. They're not thinking about that in a year of making videos. The average person is not cut out for it. There already is. There's such a fall off rate of these people being able to sustain these channels. That's why someone will be famous. And then where'd they go? Well, they went somewhere because you can only make fun of this or talk about this so many different, you can only put a wig on and pretend to be your mom so many different ways before it stops filling up comedy clubs.
Well, that's true. No, that's true. And there are some that are very talented stand-ups and were very talented stand-ups pre-pandemic that just were like, hey, screw it. I can't do stand-up and I'm not going to do Zoom shows, or you can only do so many Zoom shows. So they were doing other things and writing sketches, because I refuse to call them skits. I just fucking refuse to. But so they make those, right? Like, I'll give you a good example of a guy, right? Frankie Quinones. He does Cholo Fit, right? Creeper. And Frankie was a stand-up before Creeper ever hit. And he actually that wasn't his first character. It was actually this chick called Juanita Carmelita, and she was like the singer, and she was like, oh, I want to be famous one day. And he would do those characters just kind of fucking around because he's kind of a character actor. But stand-up was his thing well before he started doing the characters, right? So if the characters ever die or lose popularity, he still does stand-up. And in fact, I actually featured for him at River Center Improv, rest in peace. Or the River Center Comedy Club, and in San Antonio. And what he does is he comes out and he does 20 minutes of stand-up or 30 minutes of stand-up, goes back and does a costume change, comes out as Juanita Carmelita, goes back, does the costume change, comes out as Creeper, because that's what he's most known for. But
can you imagine?
It's crazy, but that's what, that's what butters his bread. But he also tours with Craig Robinson as his opener because he's a stand-up. And so I respect the fuck out of that. And there are a lot of guys who are stand-ups, but also so they do have kind of a gimmick, I guess we could call it. But they have the chops where if the gimmick gets old, they're still writing jokes. So those guys can fade, I guess, for lack of a better word, a fade. You know what I mean? Like they can still just revert back to doing stand up. The difference is that they got numbers. They've got a crowd now.
Right. Well, That's respectable. I think there's a minimum viable audience that I'm looking for, right? I can kind of do the math. I can kind of take some cues from some other people and thinkers, right? You ever read Kevin Kelly's 1,000 True Fans essay? It's basically making the argument that any artist needs 1,000 true fans, and that over the course of a year, if you can get $100 from 1,000 people, you're making $100K as an artist, and that's every artist
need
can
1,000.
do that.
Yep,
So,
you only need 1,000.
Right now in stand up, it's a little different because the ticket costs less than $100. We're trying to peddle books or albums or all this other stuff, and we're trying to do it in multiple cities. We need more than 2 shows a year, but you can basically look at that and go, man, if I need 200 people
in a city.
in 10 or 20 markets, right? That's only 2 or 4,000 people. And suddenly me dressing up like a Mexican chef or a babysitter or whatever doesn't seem like something I have to do in order to win that small amount of people over. So I'm just kind of, for me, before I become, because here's the truth. I know if I go down and play in the trenches on TikTok in short form as characters or sketches or whatever this is, I am competing, 1, where the most amount of people are, and 2, at a skill that isn't even my best game, and 3, it is their best game. So it's like, I know what I do is long form. I think in hours, and I think in chunks and themes in front of live audiences, and I'm good with live fire and interaction, right? That's the muscle I flex.
Can I be honest with you?
That's not the feel for it.
Can I be honest with you? Can I tell you what fucking blows my mind about you, Slade? When and listen, you're a gifted stand-up. You are a hell of a stand-up. You're fucking hilarious. Your crowd work is amazing. Your delivery is amazing. And you're funny as fuck. But as a writer, Slade, your ability, your gift to put pen to paper and put thought to word and frame it and make sentences and paragraphs and the flow of it. Dude, sometimes I'll sit down and read a Facebook post of yours and I feel like I just read a fucking Hemingway novel. I'm just like, Jesus fucking Christ, Slade. I hate you. I just like, my God, you are so gifted as a writer. And by the way, chat, he's got a book out. It's Slay a Dragon? To slay, what is it? It's
Till All the Dragons Are Dead.
Yeah, Till All the Dragons Are Dead. Sorry, there you go. To All the Dragons. I knew it involved a goddamn dragon.
Thank you for those,
dude.
Words.
You are. Every time you write something poignant, every time you write something that has meaning, I'm just like, fuck. Jesus Christ. And then in my mind, I'm like, how long did he fucking spend writing a Facebook? But I just see you. I'm just like, Jesus Christ, was Slade like, okay. Like I just picture you with like a green visor and a fucking pencil behind your ear. And you're like, no, not good enough. And you're like tearing it out. Bro, you are so goddamn gifted.
I appreciate that. It's sometimes I miss a lot. But there's a long time ago, back in the 2000s, there was a website called MySpace that the world may be familiar.
Yeah.
And I was writing the blog world on MySpace was incredible. And I was writing funny pieces, things I thought about current events and stuff, and falling into like the top 20 in the comedy categories regularly. And we would have this crazy comment culture, and I wasn't a good enough stand-up to know even what to do with this. Like I was a feature act and was this didn't exist. Social media and what to do with people paying attention to you in a place, it just didn't convert. Dane Cook, I guess, was doing it, but like it didn't convert. And then I went to write for these lit sites that I was like, let me go be around writers who are writing, and everybody was published. And I was trying to sneak my dumb little stories in, but all along the way, it's been sort of this, my head spins incessantly. It looks at things and tries to slam them together and go, what does this have to do with this? What does this have to do with this? Oh, this just happened. How could that be this? Or how could that be? My brain is doing that right. It's probably doing it right now. If I stop to think about it, I'm chewing on something, and it's constant. So the writing has always been, how do I get that out in some way, not even for the public, but more so I can have thought about it, finished the thought, and then moved on. Right. All right, closed circuit. I don't have to think. At least it's written down if I need to go back to it. And when you do that enough, and then the whole world ends up becoming this place that's begging for out loud social thoughts. Well, maybe I'll put this here. Maybe I'll put this here. I'm just trying to work my own thoughts out. The fact that they now mean something in the public sphere, something, you write something, it will take like 1,000 shares. And you're like, but this is just me. I was doing that for this.
Dude.
I'm glad it has some meaning, because that's me trying to find meaning in it all.
It really does, man. Like I don't know if you've ever just, I know you wrote the book and shit, but dude, yeah, I don't know how much you've chased or explored writing, but God, you should, dude. So gifted.
Doing much more of it in memoir and in some fiction stuff, but I'm also very uncomfortable. I'm writing, like, prose is my most uncomfortable medium. Like, it may be something I'm good at, but it's where I'm least confident, because I know stand-up is where instant feedback, man. I know I'm killing it when I'm killing it. It's when you write a book and it's like, man, I'll get the Amazon reviews 6 months from now and we'll see.
Cisco had a question. I always do this, on Reddit, they do Ask Me Anything. I put my own twists on it, because I always make shit up. So I always say I'm the smartest person I know, because I just make up bullshit. So I always do Ask Me Anything about anything, which means they can just ask whatever, and I'll just, if I don't know, I just make shit up. But it's just their way where they can, AMAAA. So, but Cisco had a question. It's their way to ask questions, and he said, now that it's on the comics to take over from the club the job of filling the seats, do the clubs pay more than they did when it was their responsibility? I laugh in your general direction, Cisco. Slade, you want to take
but
this?
It's now, well, I do. Their base pay, not only do they not pay more if you have numbers, they also don't pay any more than they did 20 years ago. That hasn't changed.
Comics haven't had a pay raise since probably fucking 2000.
No, I want to work in California fast food. Like, this is, at least they get
$20 an hour.
But the truth is, if you look at this the right way, you don't go in looking for, if you can bring numbers in, you don't go in asking for the same gig, right? If you can't bring bodies in, you go, I'm willing to sit in your shitbox town Wednesday through Sunday and slug through 7 shows, most of which are poorly attended, and be abused by the drunken manager, and be charged for the chicken strips, and take whatever crap check they want to give you, which is one model. Or when you can pull those numbers in, you go to the club and you go, I don't care who you book on the weekend. I want your Wednesday night. I'm going to put 200 people in here, and I want 80% of the door. You can keep the 20% for kicking on the lights, keep all your drink sales. You were going to be dark or run an open mic anyway. And that's the deal where you actually walk out with some money. But no, the clubs aren't ever voluntarily. I've only had one club twice, I think, in my entire career that's given me a pay raise I didn't ask for. One was Randy Butler in Fort Worth, and another was the clubs I work up in Canada. Absolute. They're the only ones that have ever given me a raise I didn't ask for.
Randy Butler gave me a raise, and the Looney Bins. The Looney Bins, as I went through every year, and it wasn't like, oh, you went from, it wasn't like thousands of dollars, but they would bump you up 100 or 200 or whatever, which, when you're making what you make as a B-room headliner for your first time, it matters. Shit, it's your gas money to and fro. Yeah. But
it's rare. That's all.
Oh yeah. Most clubs, when I got in 11 years ago, I could guarantee you, features still make what they made when I started at least 11 years ago. I don't know. I don't know how a comic starts today and pays their way through comedy. Merch.
But even that, I don't know how you even get the stage time and good enough to get to the feature spot to bring merch. It's such a slog. Every way of doing this, I knew how to do it. The game has definitely changed.
I mean, because you don't MC on the road and stuff. But I just remember, like, when I would feature on the road, I would, I'd go and feature. I won't name names or clubs or whatever, but I go to certain places in Texas, and they would pay me to feature, I would make $250 for the weekend, right? And you know where I'm talking about. And I would stay with a family member because they're not giving a feature a hotel room, but I would work a Thursday night show, 2 Friday night shows, 2 Saturday night shows. So I'd work 5 shows. I'd make $250 for features, but I would take 100 koozies and I would sell them for $5 each, and it would cost me 70 cents. But I'd sell 100 koozies. I'd sell out, and I would make more selling koozies than I would the club paying me to feature. I'd make $500 selling koozies and $250 from the club. But I'd leave making $750 for the week or weekend, and you would have thought I was king shit. You'd have thought I was fucking Kevin Hart out of your tour.
My best week in Oklahoma City, I had to go back in and get my check. I left without it.
You were like, fuck it.
It was that. I sold 125 shirts.
Wow.
I made $2,500 in merch as a feature.
Damn.
And I left without it. That's, yeah.
You're like, let me go get this little raggedy ass check.
It was, but that's how good of a weekend the merch I had. And it was cash. And I'm just like loaded down with 20s, and I'm going to go pick up this couple of $100. If y'all knew how much your entertainment was paid on the way up, you would bring steaks to the show.
Oh my God. Yeah. And this is why I say to Chad and anybody else that listens, I'm always like, listen, man, I know you think that, but listen, even headliners and stuff coming up, unless you're watching A-room headliners and guys that are, I'm trying to think the 1%, the 5%.
Celebrities. You're going to watch Craig Robinson.
Celebrities. Yeah. You're not, there's not a lot of money in it. If you're going, there's just not. Buy their merch. If you really want to support a band, a comic, an artist, buy their merch, because the ticket is going to the club, and the club is not paying the band or the artist shit. Promise.
But this is, it's a lot of this is on us too. And I love art. I'm pro artist, and I'm anti the fuckery machine that is out to anti artists. I'm on us. I'm on our side. But it's also, man, when you look at that whole machine, we have interjected so many middlemen into the equation because of the stuff we don't want to do, or the stuff we don't want to learn to do, or all of those things. And that's the reason someone will go, well, I didn't make any money off my special. Well, of course you didn't. You gave away half of it to a producer, and 75% of it to a distributor, and 30% of it to this dude, and you left yourself nothing, all because you didn't know how to do any of the stuff, which is fair, but you also didn't learn how to do any of the stuff while they were doing it for you along that way. So at that point, you kind of got to stop and go, man, if we keep blaming the club owners, and we keep blaming all these producers, and we keep blaming the district, and we keep blaming them all, they got their hand in the cookie jar. If we just tell them all to fuck off and go do it, they can't do anything but scream and yell. I don't know if any of this really works, but I am looking forward to
finding out. Well, it's kind of like what you and I talked about, and there's a certain, there's a certain risk involved, but it's one of those things where, hey, if clubs are saying, hey, I need to sell a certain amount of tickets, right? And you and I, this is what we kind of touched on in the green room. I want to sell, I need you to sell 600 tickets. It's like, well, fuck, if I could sell 600 tickets, why wouldn't I just rent a small theater and sell 600 tickets myself? Only have to do one show instead of 5. Sell my goddamn merch and get the fuck out, and be home on Saturday night or Sunday night, and not do all this extra shit and put all the money in your pocket.
The club is the machine, Barry, and you got to get in the machine to be part of the. That's the only. The fact that people see this one door, and they clips. You got to make the clips, and you got to tape everything, and you got to shove it out there, and that just comes back to what we were talking about earlier. If tomorrow were to happen, right, and my whole life had been me spending the last 2 years making a bunch of clips about current events. Yeah. Then tomorrow, if I got all this stuff ended, I would just have a bunch of useless clips sitting in a folder that aren't even that great, and they're kind of out of date, and I've got nothing. If 16 people watch this tomorrow, I still got a special, and no one can touch it. No one can take it away. Scarface still introduces me. It's like there's still the comedy is still the hour I wanted it to be. The short film up front is exactly it all stand. No one told me anything. No one made me do anything I didn't want to do. No one made me cut anything or edit anything or change anything. It's all mine. And that me gets to go to sleep tomorrow night knowing that I'm fully now capable of rinsing and repeating that bitch. Guess what I'm working on? The new hour. I'm already into it. That's what we're touring on this summer. We'll tape it next year. And then I'll have 2 specials that will either have 2 million views or 32 views. I don't know yet, but we'll see.
Well, you hope the 16 would bring a friend, and maybe, like you said, now those 16 bring a friend. So instead of 32, if they bring a friend, you got 48. Huh? Let's go.
If I can get a new 12 people a year.
Yeah, you're going. Yeah, exactly. New 12. Well, tell everybody a little bit about the special. You mentioned Scarface. Talk a little bit about it, man. It's a really cool deal. Like, talk about the process a little bit and who you got involved in it, because you did a lot of work and you got a lot of cool shit involved with the special.
So I decided I wanted to do it about 3 years ago. And my good buddy Jerry Wayne Longmire was getting ready to tape a special, and I'd shot some stuff. I've been on I'm not ignorant to film, but also had never really done anything like that from the beginning. So we took his and we made something incredible. And then the bug was in me, like, all right, wait a second, what now? Our dear friend Andy Huggins asked online. Andy's one of the old Outlaw comics, and he posted a question in a Houston group that said, if I wanted to tape my show, how would I do it? And there were a litany of responses, right? 3 cameras in the back of the room, put a cell phone up, do it, the whole spectrum.
Andy, just get an iPhone. It's like, oh, Jesus Christ.
Right. Yeah. And that's where you sit and you go, oh, Christ, I can't let this. There's just no way. So I called Andy. And we talked, and I knew I was out of my depth, but also like what better time to do this, right? Let's do this. Let's all figure it out. So we raised the money. We used his crowd. We shot the special. I tapped into Jordan Brady, who shot I Am Comic and I Am Road Comic.
Yep. Very nice. Sorry, this is my followers.
And I am. It's all good.
Hey, appreciate you, Fat Terry. Thank you for the follow.
And he also shot the documentary we did in the Middle East. Jordan's a fantastic comedy filmmaker. He introduced me to some local guys here in Houston who had been working a lot in commercial and stuff like for big corporations and things. Super creative, super funny, super original. And we kind of collided and we're like, well, let's figure out how to make some stuff. Well, we made some pilots, we shot some things. I brought him on board for the Andy Huggins special, and we did it. We finished it. We sold it. It's out. You can watch it on Amazon Prime.
Killer.
And then I took all of that and put it towards mine. So I tapped into my crowd. We raised the money for the special. We booked the theater. I brought in the same team. I brought in like the lighting guy from the Houston Ballet. I called up Scarface, who's an old friend. And I was like, hey, man, I want you to bring me out. He's like, say no more. I'm there. He gave me the music to use for it. I've got music from Candlebox. Kevin Martin from the band is a producer on it. So like a bunch of cool people came together. And all I had to do was figure out how to write it and learn it and go tour and perfect it, which is the part.
Yeah.
That's where I dance. That's me. So the rest of this has been all this work and figuring it out, and then sitting in the editing bay and watching yourself 100 times, even though you're not pressing the buttons because you have someone better doing it. You're still having to make the hard decisions about the jokes you told, and you told them for a reason, but they also don't go there anymore.
Cut them
and
babies.
it needs to go. And you got to kill the baby. And those rooms are hard to sit in. And then, they're just all color correction and this and that and waiting on people. And everything takes 3 or 4, 10 times more money and time than you ever thought. And then you're trying to pick a release date. Do I distribute it? Do I go with these guys? I have all those hard conversations and questions. And you finally just get to the end and you're like, this is all taking so long. And I'm not frustrated. I'm not unwilling to sit in this, but I got to remember why we made this. We made this because I want people to see what I do. because I don't want to have the conversation we were having. I don't want to have to go sit there and solely rely on my weakest muscle in my weakest arena to try and get a future. I want to do what I'm best at in the best way possible. So I just sunk in and I go, that's it. We're putting it out for free. We're not going behind a paywall. We're going to YouTube. I know the model works, and it's after this, we can talk about anything, but God damn it, I'm taking what we made, and it's the best thing I've ever made. And we're just shoving it out there and letting people watch it. And it makes me happier than anything I've ever done, man. So let it be what it is tomorrow. I'm thrilled already.
I fucking love it. It's ballsy as fuck, and it's dope, dude. And I'm envious of it, and I can't wait to see it. And I hope that it is a smashing success for you. I really do. I put the link in the chat, so if you guys click on it, that is the link to go see the premiere. You can click notify me, and it'll tell you when the premiere kicks off. I'm also going to follow that up with a link to Slade's YouTube channel. Click on that and subscribe. Smash that subscribe button. Subscribe to his channel so that you can watch. You put out videos almost every day, don't you?
Well, I do it. So the short clips go up, but I do once a week. I do the Slade Ham experiment, and it's kind of what we were talking about. I'm always having these conversations with myself. I'm always writing. I'm always jamming things together. It's a clearinghouse for that. I kind of sit down, and I've talked a lot about the process of the special and getting shit done and all this creativity. But the whole thing is really me sort of laser focusing these thoughts. And a lot of, if you go back and watch the year leading up to August 19th of last year, you will see me work out almost every joke that's in the show on that podcast in some shape, form, or fashion. So it's been really cool to me. I do a half hour every week, and I'm deeply connected to the fans. So like if you leave comments or if you interact, I prefer a smaller, deeper fan base. I'd love to have you.
All right, well, go follow. And then also, CC said, how do we follow everywhere else? So his YouTube channel is in the chat. CC, a link to the premiere is in the chat, and I'm about to post a link to
everything
his, sladeham.com. Here is a link to the website, and that should have a link to everything else. Is that correct, Slade? The website can get them to all the other socials and everything else you got going on?
All of those, or you can just, it's at Slade Ham on every social. It's the upside to having a name like this is no one else has it. Yeah. So there you go. That should get you to everything else. So there's the website, there's the YouTube channel, and a link to the premiere. And again, at Slade Ham on everything to keep up, to catch up, keep up, and follow him. Got it? Heartthrob said, I'll see Slade and Jerry in Tulsa. There you go. There you go. Hey, dude, this is dope. I can't wait to see it. And again, I told you tomorrow I will have links. I'm going to save those links. And as I go off air, I'll remind everybody to go watch the premiere because it'll come out as I go live. And then just in case they're not watching it, I'll post links for them to watch when the show's over. I appreciate it, man. Thanks so much. Man. It's good catching up with you, dude.
Yeah, dude, we got to do it again. This was dope. We got so much shit to talk about. I didn't even get to tell my story, but we got so much shit to discuss. So we definitely have to do this again because I was just telling them I want to do more interviews on the show. I used to do a ton of interviews because when I started this show, I had done radio for like 7 years, but I always had a co-host and I had never done a show by myself. So I was super nervous about, well, can I carry a show by myself for 2 hours? So I would do the first hour by myself, and then I would bring in a guest for the second hour to like just kind of help.
How daunting it's so. I had to go through it. That's part of why I started the Slade Ham experiment. It was to get all those ideas together, but also I've hosted the Whiskey Brother. We're over 1,000 episodes. Like I've been podcasting since 2011, radio in the 90s. But again, talking by yourself in a room by yourself directly to a camera and keeping a cohesive thought that closes all of the loops and that I mean there's a lot more to it than just nonstop talking. Right. So that's kind of it's taught me a lot about outlining and organizing things, and it's helped really immensely in even how I perform stand up and organize some of that. So do it. The interview muscle is just as important as the sitting there by yourself muscle.
Oh yeah, they both are. But I told him I want to do more. So I'm even if I'm bringing back guests, I'm not that guy who's like, well, if you've already been on, I'm not having you on again. I'm like, fuck it. I just want good conversation and interesting stuff. So we'll definitely have to do it again, man. So I appreciate you doing it though.
We got stories for days, man. We haven't
God.
even scratched the surface.
No, we have not.
But it's good to be on here. I'm excited. I've got to get my head wrapped around this special tomorrow. So I'll do as many of these shows as I can. Yeah, man. Well, I appreciate it. Y'all go follow Slade and make sure you check out the special tomorrow at some point, even if you got to be late to Barry on Deck. Go watch the special and support Slade Ham. Buddy, I appreciate you, man. Thanks for doing this. By the way, you fucking killed it on the Tuts and Interruption. That was such a fun show. We didn't even get to talk about that shit. That was so much fun. Let's schedule another one of these ASAP. Yes. Let's just do it. That was a good time, buddy. I appreciate you, Slade. Thanks for being here, man. All right, that was Slade Ham, everybody. Go check out the special. Give him a follow and support like I always ask you guys to do, man. Good times as always. And that is another edition of Barry on Deck. Thank you guys for hanging out. Thank you, Mark. Thank you, Cece. Thank you, Joel. Thank you, Alan. Thank you, Joe Pro, John Dorier, Heartthrob, Alec, everybody. Thank you so much for hanging out. I appreciate you. Go support. That man put his heart and soul into this special. Boy, I tried to get this done. What was it, 2021? When did I try to record my album / special? 2021, 2022? And then it all fell apart. Trust me, I get how hard it is to try to pull something like this off. So, yo, J-Ro! Oh my God! J-Ro, I need you in my life so bad, brother, but God damn it. What's up, homie? Good to see you, man. Yeah, I'm finally back streaming on YouTube again. Yeah, go support Slade though, man. I tried to do the album / special thing. Well, I think it was 2022, and it fell apart. But I'm gonna revisit that. I don't know if it's gonna be this year, maybe next year, but I understand how difficult that is. And he has definitely poured his heart and soul into it. So y'all go support it, follow it, watch it. And like you said, it's free. You ain't even gotta buy it. Just go to his YouTube channel and watch it. Give it a like, subscribe to his channel, share it with a friend that loves comedy, man. Support Slade Ham. Good dude. And I have a great story to share with you next time I have him on about Slade, because what he did for me at one point in my career was huge. So I can't wait to share that with you. All right. That's another edition of Barry on Deck, episode number 769. I like All right, I'll see you guys tomorrow. Same time, same place. Until then, do me 3 favors, everybody. Be safe. Be kind. I feel like the music's too loud, isn't it? Yeah, a little bit. All right, there we go. Yeah, be safe, be kind, and most importantly, love each other. See y'all tomorrow. Bye. And he's making a YouTube video.